Talk the Kēki, not in Iran. Osashi.
Konnichiwa!
Minasan konnichiwa.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the St. Patrick's Day special of Talk the Kēki.
Of which I
I'm
have
Matt.
no...
We like to wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day. Get drunk and be safe. And to join me, as always, Ethan, what's going on?
Which I don't have any liquor. Cat, shut up. He saw the outdoor cat before the show,
Yeah.
and now he's like, I want to go play with the outdoor cat. No, you cannot play with the outdoor cat, sir.
Yeah.
No, you cannot. Stop it.
So I'm not seeing W2M Network Facebook as one of our options.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah, what the hell?
God damn it. Can I add an option?
I don't know.
I can add it. I can add it.
You can add it. Okay.
W2M. Oh, there it is. Okay. I knew I missed one. Save changes. There we go.
Alrighty. Just so I could
It's added.
share it. It's added. It's added. All right, we're good. Alrighty. How you doing today?
I'm tired as shit, my guy. I am. You want me to give you a little story?
Yeah, sure.
So, hang out yesterday with my couple of my girlfriends, right? And I stayed out like really late. I stayed out until about 4 in the morning. Got home at 4 in the morning, right? My alarm every day goes off at 7 in the morning, and today was a really critical day for me to send out items at my job. So I was like, hey, rather than go to bed and sleep for 3 hours, why don't I just do everything I need to do right now so I can sleep in? So tipsy on tequila, I got on my computer. I worked for an hour and a half, put on some EDM music, just fucking banged everything out, right? And I was like, all right, awesome. 5:45 hits, and I'm like, all right, everything is good. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna sleep in, right? I'm sleeping until I wake up, turned off all my alarms. I'm good, right? Around 9 o'clock, I hear a yo from my window, and my windows are open because it's cool in the mornings this week in Florida. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like startled, and I see my mother like crouched down with her head on my window, like, hey, I can't get in. Can you let me in? And I was like, oh shit. And I completely forgot my mother was supposed to come over here because supposedly the contractor was supposed to come to work in the backyard. He didn't come, by the way. And so I slept from 6 until 9. That's only 3 hours. So the fucking irony that I wanted to avoid sleeping 3 hours, I ended up sleeping 3 fucking hours.
Oh boy.
So I got into work. I worked for about 3 more hours. I worked until around 12-ish, and then I was like just a lazy son of a bitch from like 12-ish to like 3:45. And then I jumped on and I started cranking everything out. I'm like, all right, I gotta do a couple more things. So I cranked everything out, left at 5, did a bunch of household chores. Wendy's fucked me on I went to get Dave's Double at Wendy's. They gave me medium fries, even though I ordered for a large combo. So that was a kick in the dick, you know. But other than that, I'm good. I had sex yesterday, so yay. I feel good.
Well, there you go.
Hey, you know, when in doubt, just think back the night before and you got some pussy. Or dick if you're into that, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever you are.
You got some tail in some direction.
Cheers, Matt, to tail and St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. Like I said, he's drinking, I'm drinking. We're going.
I have no Irish whiskey or Irish anything in my house, so this is Sailor Jerry's. So
so I could drink and be calm, I'm just gonna do an ounce a shot. So
an ounce.
Yeah.
Kanpai.
Kanpai. All right, drink 2. And I got something that's non-alcoholic just to have something in me.
That's fair. I got my chips. I got a little bit more Coke. I've got a water. Always keep the water on deck.
I am out of snacks. I gotta go to the store and buy some tomorrow. Because we're just gonna be high tomorrow while making corned beef and just having a bunch of Irish food and drinks. So that's my good time for tomorrow because I'm off of work for 10 days.
Yeah. Oh, another thing to add to my daily life for those who may give a shit or not. I got my first ever tattoo on Sunday.
Yes, you did.
I got an anime tattoo, guys.
Yep. He's a fucking weeb, though.
I'm a weebo. It would require me to take off my shirt, and I don't think anybody wants me to take off my shirt on live broadcast, so I will not. It's on my back. It's the Akatsuki cloud with the Sasuke curse mark in the direct center, and there's a little ring of activation around it. Really cool. I'll send it to Matt so he can post it on socials, and I'll post it on my socials as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, Matt, we're 6 minutes in. We talked about our lives.
All right, let's get to a couple of news then.
Yep, let's get to the news, buddy.
Alrighty, we got some announcements for anime adaptations, and some have release dates. The Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess is going to get a fall 23 premiere. The Whisper Me a Love Song Yuri anime is going to be winter 24.
Yuri.
Yep, so next year.
Yuri. I know, dude. Fuck, 2024. Son of a bitch.
The manga Kinnikuman gets a new anime series. Or Muscle Man. Not the brave Muscle Man, an actual Muscle Man.
Do the Muscle Man dance.
Yes, I'm not doing that again.
Do the Muscle Man dance. You may get injured and may miss out on WrestleMania.
Oh, fuck it at this point. Algia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian is getting a TV anime.
That'll be cute. Especially, you know why?
It does look good.
You know why I think that is? Because we saw Dance Dance Dancer and we had the Russian influence in that. And I thought that was particularly well done. So if they do something of similar ilk, I think that'll be a fun watch.
Right. I'm all for that. My company, Small Senpai, is getting a summer 23. So good job for that one.
Hi.
Let's see. Berserker Gluttony is got confirmed for 2023. Doesn't know what season yet. Probably summer or fall. If My Wife Became an Elementary School Student is getting an anime project.
A little weird. Is there a synopsis?
Let me see.
Following on the heels of last week's announcement, Matt, of what's it called? I got reincarnated as a vending machine.
Yes. Kisuke Nijima lost his beloved wife, Take, 10 years ago. Since then, he doesn't feel alive and is seen as a gloomy man. The only family Kisuke is left with is his only daughter, Mai. Kisuke wants Mai to be happy, but he has not done anything for his daughter other than providing living expenses. The father and daughter's time stopped 10 years ago. They are living in the same house, but live separate lives and do not communicate well. One day, an elementary school girl appears in front of Nijima's house and claims that she is the reincarnation of Take.
Yes, cat.
That's all we got for that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
what's up, Chris?
I might be good. Hey, how you doing, Chris? It does sound sus. What you call it? Ishura is going to be a Disney Plus exclusive.
Yeah.
So that means we'll get it on Hulu.
Yep.
For the people that watch Shaman King Flowers has their date for winter 2024 in the winter.
Okay.
And The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. I got confirmed for summer 23.
Okay.
The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You gets an anime adaptation for 2023.
Sounds like they really love him.
Really love him. The 100 Girlfriends.
Sugokuski.
Mirage Queen Vacancies Elegantes gets a new anime. And finally, one that we're going to close with, To Your Eternity gets confirmed for season 3.
Yep. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, apparently this is going to be where the manga readers say this is where it gets bad.
Really?
But I guess we'll talk about it later when we get to it.
Indeed.
But we'll see. Since we don't read it, we'll be in there fresh.
Indeed.
Alrighty, shall we get to the reviews?
Go ahead, good sir.
Fuck, that's right.
Yeah, why would you say? Yeah, you're the one that's fucking doing it first.
Yeah.
Womp,
Womp womp. Okay, let's go with the penultimate for Pokemon.
All right.
Put where we left off, we saw Latios communicating with Latios, and turns out Latios is in trouble because of some guy named Hunter.
Okay.
Basically, he's hunting down legendaries, trying to catch him. So Ash and the crew follow Latios to go with Hunter. They fight for a little bit. Hunter has a Hydra get on. They retreat for a bit, making sure that basically Latios is healed up. And of course, eventually they go back, they get a rematch. Hunter loses. Yay! So Latios thanks Ash for the help and for watching over his sister Latios.
Mm-hmm.
The two fly away. He'll never see them again. We had a little tease of Team Rocket. Not sure what they're doing yet.
It's blasting off again.
Well, again, last week it was they went separate ways. So we'll see what happens to them.
They'll get significant others and live happily ever after.
They can just date each other.
Wait, you said, but isn't James gay?
No.
I swore I heard that James is gay.
No.
I swear to God, I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, so he dresses in drag for disguises. He ain't gay.
I swore
he's bi. I'm sure he's bi.
Somebody told me
he's bi.
James is gay, and I was like, "Oh, that's an interesting fun fact." Cool, okay, didn't matter. I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. But what you call it? Next week we will have the finale, and Ash's retirement is right there.
12 years old and he's retiring. What a life, eh?
Yeah, right. I wonder how much money got paid for being a Pokemon champion.
I wonder how many dicks his mom got for being the mom of a Pokemon champion.
Let's see. Oak, Mr. Mime. I'm sure there's some bystanders.
So if you fuck a Pokemon, is it bestiality?
Pokephilia.
Pokephilia.
Yep, it's Pokephilia.
You should put that on Urban Dictionary and see if that blows up.
Hold on.
I said to put it on there. If it's on there already, shit.
I'm looking.
Oh, good God.
Oh, God, it's here.
It is there.
Yep. People who are sexually and or emotionally attracted to Pokemon on an intimate level. They may be straight, homo, or bisexual. Also may or may not be attracted to normal animals as well.
Normal animals. Okay.
Or not.
Are there normal animals in Pokemon? I don't recall.
There's birds. There's regular dogs.
Oh, okay. Isn't that some shit? Imagine if you're like a regular like dog and you're like, man, like me, my life is a dog, right? And then fucking like you see like fucking a Pokemon doing really cool shit and you're like, I can't do anything.
It's like I want to do that.
I want to fly. I want to fucking shoot fire from my breath.
Right? Come on,
I want to squirt all over people.
Yep.
Squirtle.
Exactly. All right, let's move on. Bofuri.
Okay.
Episode 8.
Yep.
The Flame Emperors are back just before the 8th event starts. Basically, the people with their monsters level them up a bit. But for the 8th event, it's going to be the preliminary, which is a survival game. Basically, all your guild members, they're all got to survive for a certain time limit. The Rule 34 is real, I agree. But what you call it? Basically, the longer you survive the whole thing, and the amount of monsters you kill, you get to go to a more difficult level at the future events for the actual main events. So that's what they're all doing with that. Of course, for Maple's group, they're all separate, but they're all doing well. But Maple gets nerfed a bit. Okay. Hers is basically her abilities are a little weakened, and monsters are running away from her. So basically, if the monsters run away, she can't get points. So it's like, shit. because she killed enough monsters. Because again, everyone in that group is fucking OP. But
Right.
yeah, she wanders around in the forest, hits this mushroom thing, and it shoots out spores. And with this, it makes monsters attracted to them to attack whoever hit the thing. So now the monsters that run away from Maple are now attacking her head on. But she has a fucking cannon, so bitches love cannons, and the shield turns into a mech. Starts shooting all the yes. So Maple's fucking mech thing starts shooting at all the monsters. They're fine over there. That's cool, whatever. And then we get checked up on the other ones. The twins are doing okay. Kanade had a little bit of trouble with a 2-on-1 assault, but like you see that she lost, but it was her decoy, not her. Like she did a Kagebushi no Jutsu type of shit. So all that's going on. Is sends a message to everyone saying, "Hey, I'm gonna set up a traps here, so don't get caught in it." A couple of NPCs get caught in it, so it sucks for them.
Sucks to suck.
Yep, sucks to suck. That's exactly right. Sally sees, oh, there's strong people ahead. And of course, it's the one of the top two players, Payne and me. So they have a little friendly sparring match. The Dragon, the Phoenix. But it's a stalemate because Maple basically cock-blocked them with shooting her cannon randomly while she was being eaten by an alligator. So it was like, this is fun. And they're like, yeah, my mood's gone. I can't fight you anymore. We're good. We'll do it later.
Oh, Papa, come here.
So big mood killer. Sally was like, oh, motherfucker. But of course, talking to no one, that Maple's team did really well. They have they're doing the high difficulty for when they do the main events. I think it's either gonna be next episode. Will be where that season will end. We got 4 more episodes because of the delays.
Yep.
So mid-April, that'll be done.
You fucked up, cat. You're gonna be on camera.
Ooh. You're gonna be on camera.
Whoop, kitty. Where's your kitty?
They're not here.
All right.
Locked them out.
Oh, what's that one thing? Like when they're like, chicken wing, chicken wing, chicken wing, chicken wing. Hot dog and bologna, hot dog and bologna.
What the fuck? Alrighty. Okay. We're gonna go with Blue Lock.
All right.
2 more episodes.
All right.
Isagi's very desperate to try to beat Rin.
2 more episodes, and the World Cup ended like 6 months ago.
No. Well, they're not doing the World Cup. That's probably be like season 2. I think it's just the progress of Blue Lock, and maybe the season will end with the World Cup if they win it, or never.
Yeah, we'll bank on never.
Yeah, we'll bank on never, unless.
You know what I would love? You know what I would die laughing if you told me, and they lost in the semifinals to the South Koreans. I would fucking die laughing.
It was the Saudis.
I'll never forgive the Saudis.
Exactly.
All right, puppy, I'm gonna push it down.
All right, let's move on. So again, the score is 4-3 with Team Rin, and Isagi gets a 1-up on Rin again by tossing the ball to Baru, and then Baru is a fucking king. He's awakening himself again. Gets the goal. It's tied 4-4. And when all this is going on, Bachira is still having this little inner struggle with himself because, again, he found people he wants to play soccer with, but the fact that Isagi and Rin are competitive against each other, he feels forgotten. He's fallen behind after what he's finally got something that he wanted. So we get a little bit more flashbacks, and it's about the demon. I talked about that. He has the demon and talk. He has voices in his head. They talk to him. They understand. They talk to him.
Okay, Randy Orton.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you got that.
I hear voices in my head. They talk to me.
I miss him. Let's be real.
I know, dude. I do too.
It's not the same, man.
It's not the same. And even though it was a comedy act, him and Riddle were really solid.
It looked like he was having fun for a few years.
It was fun without the booze. Although he still drinks, I think, right?
Yeah, I just wish Riddle stopped having birds and giraffes flying out of his ass with that CG.
Yes, indeed. Nobody liked that at all.
Yeah, no one liked that. It was a stupid idea from Bad Creative.
Maybe children.
No, I don't think even they asked for it.
You don't think the children asked for birds coming out of a man's ass?
No. I don't think they. Oh hell, I don't think they even saw it live when they're in this.
Mommy, if I try hard enough, can I have an eagle come out of my butt?
Well, if you have enough shrooms, sweetie.
Speaking of, oh my god, you want to hear something really disgusting?
Sure.
So my cousin Eddie, right? He put me onto some shit, and what the fuck? We was talking about something about ass fucking, right? There's a joke, and he's like,
okay.
he's like that gerbil you put up your ass, and I was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck will put a gerbil up your ass, like up their own ass? And he's like, it's a legitimate thing. I was like, huh? And he's like, yeah, apparently what they do.
Gerbling.
You've heard of this?
Yes.
I have not. For those of you unaware, you put a gerbil in a little bottle, right? And you stick the end of the fat end of the bottle up your ass, and you light a fire on the other end of the bottle so the bottle gets hot, and the gerbil runs away from the fire, and the gerbil goes in your ass. I was like, what the fuck kind of people are there out in the world that come up with this shit? That would even have a desire to have a gerbil up their ass.
Did you not watch South Park?
I don't really watch South Park.
Let me wait.
I've seen many episodes of South Park, but I'm not a religious.
No, there was a rumor where this news guy he found there was a gerbil in his ass that had probably overdosed on cocaine.
What in the fucking gerbil? Cocaine gerbil?
Yes.
Cocaine gerbil. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no. That's like the what's it called? Dreamcatcher with the fucking alien coming out the guy's ass.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah, that. All right, let's continue.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
We had one viewer join and immediately drop when they talked about ass gerbils.
Yeah. All right. Basically, Bachira eventually gets the ball. I was like, because basically they thought Rim was going to get it, but no, Bachira got it. And now he's awakened himself, and he's telling his inner demon that he doesn't need him anymore. Like he wants to be free from the shackles. Like, I don't want to pass it to where the demon is to this player or something like that. Basically, the demon's telling him where to pass it. He wants to make his own choices. He wants to do it by himself. He's running towards the goal. He has a clear shot. He goes to kick it.
Wide left.
Isagi catches it just in time with his foot.
Oh, deflection.
Yeah, he's like, I knew you were going to do that, you motherfucker. That was where that episode ended.
Did you say motherfucker?
No, that is how he got I knew that was your plan, damn it.
You thought it was you, but it was me.
Yeah. Actually, before that though, Isagi had a clear shot, went for the goal, but Rin caught it with his head, like headshot, to block it. And that was where Bachira got the ball. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, fuck, cool. We're good there. 2 more episodes.
Are you looking forward to this ending?
In terms of,
because I feel like this is one of those shows for you that's like kind of like not. Would you say it's drug? It feels a little like it's drug, like drug along.
I felt like that with the first half, not the second half.
Okay.
Like I said, I feel like Core 2 is a lot better because I like the more intensity of these games. Cool animation shots and then nice little combos that they do with it.
Wombo
combos, yeah. But it's one I was like, yeah, I am looking forward to moving on because we're gonna have a lot for spring.
We're gonna have a lot this season, this year as a whole.
Oh yeah, so I'm relieved in that regard. Like, oh no, it's gonna be a free course. So no, thank you.
Indeed,
we're not doing that. I believe I have one more.
Indeed, sir.
Let me check my list.
While Matt checks his list, I'm watching Puerto Rico and Mexico. Puerto Rico's up 4-1. Bottom of the 4th, 1 out. 0-1 count.
Up for baseball?
Yes, World Baseball Classic.
All right. I got it. Vinland Saga, my main event.
How did you forget about Vinland Saga?
No, well, see, there was one more before I went to it. Which I didn't. Because again, I'm not watching Spy Classroom anymore.
Indeed, we're not.
All right, a little bit of a time skip. 3 years.
Little bit.
Yeah, it's just 3 years. Thorfinn and Einar, they're of course they're doing more farm work, and the forest is finally clear. They cut down all the trees. Everything's looking nice. They're talking about how close they are to getting their freedom. Basically, harvest next year. Once that goes well, they'd be free. Cool. Of course, the master comes by. Kettle, you can check him out. He's impressed with everything. So yeah, how about that? About your little harvest. Just you think we'll be fine? Like yes. Okay, so just sow the seeds, and you're free.
Okay.
But they have to wait till he comes back from his visit to a kingdom before they're free. Like don't just sow the seeds and then bounce when he's not there.
Yep.
So yeah, Thorfinn and Einar, they're shocked but also incredibly happy. So what you call it? Kettle goes on his way. Thorfinn and Einar, they're talking for a bit. They're going to talk about what they're going to do once they're free. Like, what's their plan? Einar doesn't know.
Einar doesn't. No, I'm sorry.
No, basically, it's like there's no point in going home because his family's dead.
Rip.
So it's not like he has a home to go home to.
Rip.
And he can't just take Arnhide, the girl that he likes, the female slave.
Yeah.
Because Kettle likes her because he tells her all of his secrets, so only she knows about Kettle not being a fighter. So he doesn't want to give that up.
Okay.
And then as Thorfinn, and basically he talks about how he asked him, like, hey, do you think it'd be nice if there was no war and all this?
Sure.
Yeah, ideally. So in medieval times. So and they have a laugh a bit. Thorfinn smiling. So we get the happy side of the episode. Now we're gonna get the dark side of this episode.
Ooh, okay.
With King Canute. He's traveling to Denmark because his brother is ill.
Okay.
So basically, King Harold. Basically, he's going there to go pay his respects, check up on him. So they get to Denmark. Sorry, Jelland. That's the kingdom. Jelland for Denmark. Canute reflects a bit. Actually, before that though, he sees his dead father. He's seeing things. This is his dead father, his headless father. Like basically taunted him and all that. So Canute's not over his father. And then they get to Jelland. He goes to visit him. And basically King Harold tells him basically Denmark is yours. Because they don't think he's gonna last much longer. And then Canute's like talking like, oh look, I don't want your kingdom and all that. Like you're gonna be fine. And you see the father's head again, where the brother's laying down. Say, oh, stop being so nice. We all know what really happened. You poisoned your brother. So Canute poisoned his own brother.
To be king.
For both England and Denmark. Even the father said, your brother did nothing to you. You guys could have ruled the world together, but you chose to kill him.
You piece of shit.
So now you're going to have the burden of two kingdoms and the people around the world coming after you a lot more, basically.
Right.
So, Canute, he leaves the room and he's just talking his head again. It's like, and he's talking to his father like he's the only one that could see him. And basically, I'm telling you everything because I feel like you're the only one I can relate to. I hated you for so long, but now I'm king. I kind of get how you think.
Right.
So it's the whole curse of the crown, but now twice. So he's going to have it rougher than the king because, again, the king separated the two kingdoms to his kids.
Right.
So that was where that episode ended, and holy shit. Canute is ruthless. Killing your own brother for being nothing but nice to you.
At least he didn't fuck his sister for being pretty.
Yeah.
Dot.
Yet.
He has a sister?
Yeah.
Always seems that way, right?
Yep. It's England. It's England in the medieval times.
Oh, then you know they fucked their sister.
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
All right, here comes an hour. Time it at 30 minutes.
I did 25 minutes. Let's go.
Yep. No, you did like 20, dude, because you had like 5 minutes of thing.
That's right. Okay. Then
Anyway.
go ahead.
All right, so we'll go first with Reborn to Master the Blade. Episode 10 was relatively solid. The episode starts off with Leone fighting her brother Leon, and they're going through a whole back and forth battle. Leon's actually surprised that Leone is like grown so much and has him on the defensive. So he's pretty impressed. And Leone, for her, you know, for her side, she's really stressed. She's upset. She's fighting with pure emotion. Excuse me, because of the fact that her brother had, you know, betrayed the kingdom, etc. Excuse me.
Right.
All right, there we go. All right. So they're going back and forth. Eventually, they stop, and the leader, whose name I'm forgetting, of the Blood Chain Brigade. I kept saying Bloodborne Brigade, but it's the Blood Chain Brigade. She mentions to both Leone and Liselette that they are not there to fight them, and basically their whole goal is to kill the new emissary. They basically reveal that another emissary from the Highland is coming to the kingdom, and they're not only going to take Ripple away, but they're also going to take the entire like land of the kingdom with them. And of course, we learned in the previous episode, when they do that, they basically either kill off the residents or they treat them as slaves because they consider them underlings. And so he's like, hey, we're going to kill this piece of shit and you guys can do whatever the fuck you want in the chaos. Just don't get in our way. And they disappear. But before they disappear, Leon looks at Leon. He's like, hey, there's nothing left that I can teach you. And I'm happy about that. And he smiles as he walks away with the Blood Chain Brigade. Leon and Liselette are like, fuck, we got to let everybody know. So they go let the principal know of everything that goes on and the plan. And so Inglis comes up with a plan to basically be there at the coronation. So her and Ronnie are there as maids. They're basically like attendants, based like attendants, I guess you could say. You know, they're like, you know, putting the food away, you know, giving wine, etc. And the emissary comes, and he's a high-ranking emissary. He's like the general of their like army, and he is a true piece of shit. He is a fucking asshole, straight asshole. And he's like, oh, you guys are like beneath me. You guys are pieces of shit. Like, you guys are so stupid. Like, I'm talking about shit to your face. And you guys are like, yes, we love you. We worship you. How stupid can you be? Blah, 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 blah. So the king is a putz, you know, and he's like, all right, you know, it is what it is, whatever. I just don't want to get in trouble, whatever the case is. And as the emissary is talking, and I forget the emissary's name, but in any case, the emissary is talking, someone that's with the Blood Chain Brigade goes over, tries to assassinate him, completely fucking just fails. And the emissary from the Highland is OP as shit. He waves his like two fingers like this, for those who are watching on camera,
right,
and like literally splits this guy's fucking head open, just death.
Oof.
Right, just with two fingers.
Damn.
Yeah, right. And I was like, oh shit. So the emissary after the fact is like, hey, so you know, I'm gonna blame you because one of your people tried to kill me. So the king gets on his knees, prostrates, dogezas, and is like, I'm so sorry, you know, it wasn't us, you know, please forgive me. And he's like, you know what? He's like, I believe you, but you still need to be punished. I'm gonna take your arm with his two fingers, swipe, arm is gone. And he's like, oh my god. Ronnie, throughout this entire situation, is pissed off at the emissary being a fucking bastard. So Ronnie and Inglis step up to the podium where they're at, and Ronnie and Inglis begin to heal the king's arm. And the emissary is like, you know what, that's fine. I don't care if you heal the king's arm, but I'm taking somebody's arm as punishment for this, right? So Inglis steps up, and she's like, hey, why don't you try and take my arm, big guy? Huh? And so what she does is she uses Aether, and Aether is an unknown power to the kingdom at this stage. She doesn't know, again, whether they've gone back in time or forward in time, but it's either a lost art or it's an unknown art. So she puts up an Aether shield, and the emissary's power is completely fucking useless. It's just absolutely fucking useless, right? And he's all pissed off. He's like, why isn't my power taking your arm? This is bullshit. He uses both hands with two fingers, nothing. He's going crazy. And he's like, oh, and he's like, who the fuck are you? And Inglis is like, I'm just a maid, you know, just being fucking silly. So he's like, you know what? That's fine. He's like, I'm not even here for Ripple, honestly. He's like, I'm here for something else. And all of a sudden, the roof from the hall they're in, the great hall they're in, rips off, and a giant fucking, I guess, some sort of machine or like ship comes from underneath or from the skies, and that's where the episode ends. So that was a relatively solid show. I should always start with Inukai-san because I don't ever summarize it on verbally. Inukai-san was relatively interesting. The episode starts off with basically Karen's what's it called? Karen's class, and they're doing the what's it called? The dog cafe, right? But they're not getting many customers because of the fact that is it Usagi? I forget her name. Give me one moment. Chotomate kudasai. Usagi. Yep, I was correct. Usagi's what's it called? Class are doing a bunny cafe, and they're dressed up in bunny outfits, and they're stealing all the customers away with the cute bunnies. So then, what's it called? Karen, for her credit, comes up with an idea, basically to offer doggy foot baths. And so basically the dog licks the person's foot. And of course you get the super sexualized version where everybody's having fucking orgasms and moaning because they're getting their toes and feet licked. So that's interesting to say the least. And toward the end of the day, as they're wrapping up, the big moment happens where we see the what's it called? The scientist. She actually, toward the end of the episode, reveals her name. Her name is Inari. And Inari goes over to Karen and is looking for Pochita, and Pochita's like, she's like, you know, like, what would you do? What would you say if your dog wasn't really a dog? What would you say if your dog was a human disguised as a dog? Would you still love it? And Karen is just like shocked. She's like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening? Pochita's like trying to make her feel better, and she's trying to get like a reaction from Inari. So he starts ferociously licking, and at first Inari's not budging. She's no selling the foot licks, like, oh, this ain't shit. But eventually he starts really working it. He's working it. He's working that foot with his tongue, and eventually gets her to like moan a little bit. And Inari's like, you know what? I'm good. Right? And she walks out. And she said, thanks for the coffee, because she had a coffee while she was getting her foot licked. And Pochita's like, no, you're not going to get away from me. So he follows her. And apparently the school that they're at has an abandoned school building. And so he follows her into the abandoned school building. And we find out that's where Inari's lab is. And he can't find Inari. Inari is basically sitting on a desk and was like, looking for me, little doggy? And that's how the episode ends. So that's the penultimate episode of that season, and it's setting up for some sort of showdown between Pochita and Inari, where Karen will obviously show up to save the day, or Usagi, or both of the girls, because Usagi's pretty aware of the fact that the dog is senpai. She just doesn't know how, but he's pretty confident it's senpai. So yeah. And I was telling my friends this, you know, they were laughing. They're like, well, why are you watching fucking hentai? And I was like, I'm not watching hentai. I was like, it looks like hentai, sounds like hentai. But this actually has like a story to it. And it's not as bad as some of the other ecchis that have zero story. It's just like, oh, sexual shit for no reason, right? Or like bullshit plot with sexual shit. Like, no, there's an actual relative plot to this. And there's subplots to this as well, involving Pochita as a human, and, you know, the effect of being a loner and not being noticed. And, you know, there's little things you can pick up on it. And I'll explain more as we wrap up next season, or the week after next, since you're gone. But in any case,
are we doing awards when I come back, or because most of them will be done?
Do you want to do like a 3-parter?
I said, if I get caught up for the 2 weeks, and
you know what I think is gonna happen, because the week you come back, or the week we're slated to come back, is WrestleMania week. So
that's before WrestleMania.
It's right before. So,
I said, if everything's almost aired, we could probably do it.
Just an award show.
Like we'll do some of the reviews, and then we could just do the awards, or we wait a week after.
Yeah, I mean, this week coming up is when the majority of things are ending for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out.
Okay, continue.
We can figure it out. All right. Moving on. What's next on my list? Fire Hunter. Fire Hunter is odd. They capped it at 10 episodes. So the season's going to end next week, which is interesting. Tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to end tomorrow, which is interesting. Mainly with Fire Hunter, what the fuck even happened in Fire Hunter, really? It's kind of a bittersweet thing where basically now that Toko has is it a gay? It's a gay podcast. Don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean.
Yeah,
anyway,
what the hell are you talking about?
No clue. Only on the weekends, although it's a weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but now that Toko has basically fulfilled her mission, she basically is like Akari tells her like, hey, you fulfilled your mission, you've done well. You should take a ride on the next collection truck and go back home to your family and your village. And Toko's like, no, I basically want to stay with you while you see out this mission. And basically we find out from the god, like when the same god that came from like episode 8 appears before Koshi and tells him, hey, in 9 days the spiders are going to attack the capital, all's going to be lost, good luck, kid. So he basically Koshi gets Akari and the other fellow whose name is slipping my mind. Give me a second. It's not here. That's wonderful. Okay. Anyway, the other fire hunter. And basically, what's it called? They are trying to figure it out, basically, like what they're gonna do. And so Akari basically says, like, hey, I'm gonna appeal to the king or whatever about, trying to get help and about dealing with the Skyfire. And basically at the end of the day, if they're able to conquer this like flame, the flickering flame is what it's called. It's basically a flame. It's like kind of like an asteroid, right? Or like a shooting star or comet. It's like a comet. But when you look at it from space, it's really just a satellite from the previous civilization that's still there, which is kind of interesting as well. So I'm not making coherent sense because it's really hard to make sense of Fire Hunter, but there is, like I said, there's intrigue to this. And, it's a short season, thank God. So there's only 6 more episodes since you stopped at episode 4, I believe, right?
I stopped at 5.
You stopped at 5. So you only have 5. So it'll be easy watch for you. It's odd. It's just odd. It's hard to summarize because of how unique they tell the story and like some of the moving parts involved, but it's not bad. So that's about all I really have for Fire Hunter, honestly. All right. I could probably do better, but what are you gonna do? All right, next for me is Reincarnation of the Strongest Exorcist. All right, let me pull up my review for Strongest Exorcist. So episode 10 was fairly interesting. Seika invites Amiyu and Mabel to the mansion on spring break. She mentions that his father wants to meet the 2 girls, and they're like, okay, cool, no problem. And they head there, and upon arrival, everyone, greets Seika and Aoife, including Glai, the asshole brother. Immediately, as soon as he comes, he's like, I've been waiting for this moment. Why don't you duel me? And Seika's like, go ahead and duel Amiyu, right? Duel her first. And if you beat her, I'll fight you, right? And so they fight, the 2 duel. And basically, Amiyu puts Glai on the back foot. And before the duel happened, they said, like, no magic is allowed. This is just straight physicality, right? Like, okay, no problem, right? So Glai takes out his magic wand and starts doing incantation. And Mabel steps back because she's like, oh, no, this wasn't part of it. And basically, Glai's able to take the sword and whip it out of her hand. And he's like, I win. And Amiyu's like, you cheated. And you're like, hey, no one said that I couldn't fake it. 1, 2, when you're on the battlefield, you could cheat all you want to live. Fair. 100% fair, in my opinion.
Right.
But a woman comes out, right? And it's a blue-haired girl. I forget her name, but she's considered the holy princess. And she's the one who wants to meet Amiyu and Seika and Mabel and Aoife. And we find out she's called the Holy Princess because of the fact that she was born the daughter of a noble, as well as the daughter of a priestess. But not only, we find out later on the type of priestess her mother was before she passed away. But regardless, they meet, and everyone's like, dude, why didn't you tell me it was the princess that wanted to meet me? I thought it was your father. Like, well, you wouldn't have come if that was the case, right? But throughout like throughout this like episode, Glai has changed significantly. Before, Glai was brash, he was a dick to his brother. Now they get along, like they're cordial. He's attentive to the princess because he's part of the princess's holy knights. And so basically after dinner, right, Oh, and by the way, during the dinner, we find out in a flashback from Seika's father that Ifa's father is mad at Seika's father for allowing Ifa to go with Seika to the academy. And so the father asked the father, like, hey, are you mad I let your daughter go with my son because you didn't want her to go to the academy? He goes, no, I'm just mad because your son's a weirdo and a creep. And he's like, well, I don't think that. My son is very talented. So I think he's just fine. Ifa's just fine. Everything's going to be okay. And the father of Ifa's like, all right, whatever. Right. So the next day after that's done. Oh, and the other thing also, sorry, going backwards, in that same dinner, his mother, who never like took claim of him, right, because he's a bastard child, the mother was saying, and it might be just because the princess is there, but it was like, hey, you should write home more. And he goes, okay. And he's like, oh, that took me by surprise. Like, what the fuck? So after dinner, Seika's just chilling in his room. There's a knock at the door. It's Amiyu. Amiyu comes in the room, and Seika's like, hey, you shouldn't come to a boy's room this late. It's really late at night. You shouldn't come here, right? And she's like, well, you see me naked anyway, so what difference does it make now, right? It's a little too late for that. And he's like, yeah, that's true. So they start talking, and she just reaffirms that, like, hey, what are you going to do when you graduate? He's like, I don't know. She's like, what about you? She's like, I'm going to go be an adventurer like I told you in the caves. And he's like, I did promise you that we were supposed to go adventuring. So I don't know much about adventuring, but, I promise that we'll go adventuring together when we graduate. And she's like, you promise? And they're like, pinky promise. And the pinky promise. It's cute. And, there's a little bit of like, you could tell, like, even though Ifa's the main character that likes Seika, Amiyu has a little bit of like a tiny crush, but like she understands like Ifa's first. Ifa's the one that loves him more. So she kind of like falls back, and they're just very cool. So it's not bad. So the next day, Ifa, no, not Ifa, I'm sorry. Amiyu, Glai, the princess, and Seika all go out onto the town. And the princess basically takes Seika like a, kind of like a date, right? Holding his hand, walking him around, etc. And as they're walking around town, they're like, tell him like, yo, be careful. Like, this kind of, we don't know what's going on. Somebody may attack you. As they're walking next to some construction, of course, the construction beams from the construction fall down. Glai and Amiyu use magic to protect Seika and the princess. And everyone around them was like, magic? Who are they? Like, are they special? Like, who's that? Is that a princess? Who's that? So they get out the way. And Seika apologizes for not protecting the princess himself. The princess is a little annoyed, thinking like she expected more from him, basically. So Seika, as a make good gift, goes to like a little stand and gets her like a little hair tie and says, this is from me. Sorry, it's not anything, fancy, but, I think it's a nice tie to commemorate your time here. And she's like, oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Blah, 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 blah. End episode. In an after credit scene, though, Glai is training at home, and Seika comes up and he's like, oh, ever diligently training, aren't you? And he goes, they start talking about Amiyu, and they said basically like the princess wanted to meet Amiyu because she's the hero, and Seika kind of stays like kind of quiet, and he's like, Glai's like, and you knew that. It seems like you already knew that. So they keep continuing more, and his brother, to his credit, basically warns Seika like, hey, the princess isn't all that she seems. Like, on the outside, she's really friendly and, very cheerful, but she's a politician at heart. And, do you know why they call her the Holy Princess? And they're like, oh, well, she was the born the daughter of a king and a priestess. And she goes, yeah, but the priestess that she is the daughter of is the Oracle Priestess. And the Oracle Priestess passed down her power. Her power is that the princess can see into the future. And so she knows about Amiyu, she knows about Seika, she knows their futures. And so he warned Seika, like, hey, just, be careful, because things aren't as they seem. At the end of the day, the princess, regardless, is the princess, and she's got the best interests of the kingdom in mind. Hell, fate be damned with either of you guys. So be careful. And that's how they end the episode officially. So a little bit of intrigue there. I like it. And that comes off the heels of the previous episode where they introduced the bad guys. For the, I guess it seems like maybe it'll be next season, and maybe the final 2 episodes, I don't know, but little bit of intrigue there, so not bad. Moving on, Mononogatari. Let me get my review for Mononogatari. Chotto mate kudasai. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, nana, Mononogatari. In about 15 seconds, I'm taking approximately to try and find this stupid fucking review. All right. So this episode of Mononogatari was actually pretty cute. The episode starts out with Hyoma after his battle being offered to train to team up with Tsubaki to go after the paper princess. And she asked, like, hey, you mentioned my brother and sister's name, you mentioned the paper, not the paper princess, sorry, the paper umbrella. Like, you mentioned the paper umbrella, like, you want to go after it too? And they're like, yeah. And she proceeds to tell a story about how his brother and sister were like a light to her. Like, she would be bored of her training because she was so good, and they were so much better. And like, she admired them, and she basically wants to avenge them for their loss. And so while Hyoma is thinking about this, Yu is there, and Yu is like, I wouldn't take that if I were you. And like, internally, she doesn't ever speak this out loud, but she's like, I wouldn't take that if I was you, because Tsubaki isn't the girl that you see in front of you. Tsubaki basically uses people as toys to just cover her ambition, and she's a savage. Like, she fucking mastered her fucking art at the age of like 10, right? So she's like super legit, just like Hyoma, and maybe even better when it's all said and done. So Hyoma basically thinks about it. He's like, our goals align. It sounds like a really good deal, but part of me still wants to stay with the Nagatsuki household, because this is part of my training too. While there's a goal at the end of the day is to kill the umbrella, the actual goal is to grow in both strength and in mind, which is very admirable. And as they're walking home, he like also reaffirms, he's like, as much as the offer is good, I swore on my brother and sister's grave that I would be the one to kill them alone, and so I want to accomplish that. No problem there, right? From there, they arrive home, and Botan is pissed off at Hyoma, like, you came back home all fucked up and bleeding. What the fuck, dude? Basically, right? And she's like, I'm sorry. So the next day, they have a gathering, or maybe a few days later, I don't know. They have a gathering, a family gathering, and Hiyori is like, hey, to celebrate Botan's final year of college and Hyoma making it 3 months in the in the household without dying or fucking us kicking him out, we're gonna have hot pot. And everyone's like, yay, hot pot.
Yeah.
And Hyoma's like, what's the big deal about hot pot? And he's like, and Hiyori's like, well, you haven't been around our household, but hot pot's a really big thing we only do for like major celebratory means. So the fact we're doing hot pot's really cool. So she assigns tasks to everybody to do. Eventually they all do them. But the main story is basically focused on Hyoma and Botan. She puts them together, and they're in charge of finding the actual hot pot that's hidden somewhere in the house, because they don't remember where it is. So everybody goes searching, and we see Botan with a piece of paper. When she looks at the paper, we get a flashback to right after they're told their objective. And Hiyori is like, use this opportunity. We're leaving you alone with him. Use this opportunity to get closer to him, find out more about him. And Botan's like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, he doesn't even seem interested in me. And she goes, nonsense. And here's a piece of paper. Let him know. And it's like, oh, have you had a girlfriend? How long was your relationship? Have you been with a woman? Do you even like women? Do you like men? Like, all these like random questions, right, to ask. So she tries to find like little bits and pieces here and there to try and find an opportunity to ask him these questions. It just doesn't work out. At the end, like, they're inside of a storage shed in the compound. And Botan's like, all right, I'm going to go check the second floor. And she walks away. Hyoma goes to where she was at. And she's like, hey, you dropped something. He reads the paper. And Botan's freaking the fuck out. Like, oh, it's Hiyori. Hiyori wanted me to ask you those questions. Like, I know you're not interested. And Hyoma turns around and tells her, like, hey, I know you're worried about the arranged marriage. Don't be worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. And he uses like a big, like, old person's word, like henceforth or therefore, something along those lines, right? Something that's like he doesn't normally use. And she remembers in her head that one of the Tsukumogami is like, hey, if he uses a big old person word, that means he's flustered. So Botan becomes mischievous for the first time. And she goes, and she's like, let me see your face, Hyoma. No. And they like start playing like fucking dodge. Eventually they trip on a box, and Hyoma ends up on his back, and he's blushing. Botan's on top of him, looking at him, blushing, and then they get cock blocked by Hugh, who sees the scene and gets pissed off that it seems like Hyoma's trying to fuck Botan. And so the episode continues basically, where they have the hot pot eventually. They don't find the hot pot in the mansion. They found out the neighbor has the hot pot from a previous event. They lent it to him, and they never got it back. So they went searching for nothing. But regardless, they have the hot pot. Botan gets a little drunk and starts getting like touchy-feely on Hyoma, and Hyoma's like freaking out. He's like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what's going on. But the two have another like amicable conversation, and they get a little bit closer because of the hot pot, you know, when they get a moment to themselves. So
right.
A cutesy episode this time around for that. What's next for me? I got, I believe, 2 more. Yep, I got Boruto and Revenger. I'm actually gonna do Boruto first. Because I'm gonna do Boruto first because Boruto was actually fairly lit. Let me pull up the review for Boruto. Boruto. Urusai. Fucking.
It's like, no, you shut up.
Urusai. Okay. So, like I said, this is one of the best episodes of Boruto that there's been, basically. Basically, Naruto figures out Boruto's gone, and the sensory team doesn't find him in the village. So he uses Sage Mode. He busts out Sage Mode and is able to find him 40 kilometers away, battling an enemy. Shikamaru comes over and was like, hey, that enemy's probably Code. And he's like, hey, we're not going to let you go alone. You no longer have Kurama. You're not going to be as effective, you know, and I'm the only person that's available. So I'm going with you to save the boys because you're not going to listen if we told you not to go. So Shikamaru and Naruto basically go over. Hinata wants to join them as well, but Naruto's like, nah, like stay at the house, guard Himawari. So Hinata gets a little bit of that, like, you know, like, hey, you're my wife, but you're useless type of thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so the duo basically go after the boys. But the main focus is about Code and Boruto. So basically Boruto starts attacking Code, gets his ass just wiped. He's just fucking getting his ass kicked. And Code basically tells him like, hey, you know, you have Karma, which gives you enhanced like speed, enhanced power, but it doesn't, you haven't mastered Karma because the essence of Karma is you become an experienced fighter by just the snap of your fingers. Because what is an Osutsuki? An Osutsuki is a battle-hardened alien that they've gone through millennia and millennia of battles as they conquered all these planets in the universe. So you should be able to tap into that. And Boruto manages to do that after hearing this. And not only is he able to tap into that, but he's able to retain his conscience. He's not handing his conscience over to Momoshiki. And he ends up putting Code on the back foot. And he kicks Code's ass for a little bit, right? And Kawaki comes in. Kawaki manages to land some shots. And they've got Code really reeling, right? And they're like, we can do this. And then Boruto basically goes limp, right? He goes limp and fucking starts writhing in pain. And Kawaki's like, what the fuck is going on? Code sees this opportunity, kicks Kawaki in the chest, and fucking he goes flying into the fucking forest, smacks a tree. He's out. He's done. And as Code is about to fucking do like one of his final blows to kill Boruto or to incapacitate him, to feed him to the Ten Tails, time freezes. And what's it called? He's like, Boruto's like, why is time frozen? And he looks at the shrubs, at the trees, sees Momoshiki there. And Momoshiki's like, hey, you thought you could stop my my conscience because you're taking some fucking pills, like the pills that Amado like treats that gives him to like stop the Osutsukification. He's like, you thought some silly pills were gonna stop me, Boruto? You're a fool. Right? And he sees Code, and he's like, that's Code. He's like, that's that bastard that wants to fucking be a single Osutsuki, right? And he's like, I'm gonna kill him. He's like, hey boy, switch with me. And so he fucking switches with fucking Boruto. Boruto loses his consciousness, basically, becomes Momoshiki. Momoshiki fucking sticks his hand out with the Karma seal fully in effect and goes, Rasengan. Like, just, you know, generic as fuck, Rasengan. And a humongous fucking Rasengan fucking comes out. And Code is just looking like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, as he's facing this massive fucking Rasengan to end the episode. So badass as fuck. They're actually, I believe I mentioned this last week. If I didn't, they're actually legitimately closing Boruto. At episode 293, that series is done, and they'll come up with a new name or something along those lines for the next part. Which, by the way, you saw that. I don't know, is it really a joke, or if people legitimately mean that the latest manga chapter of Boruto, they said is better than all of One Piece.
People have been saying that, yeah.
I chuckled because I don't believe it, and I'm a Boruto fan, and I don't read One Piece.
No, it's just like, okay, you're gonna compare one chapter to like over 1,200. Calm the fuck down,
dude. Do you want a spoiler on it?
I seen it. That's a...
You saw the what happened in the chapter.
Yeah, with Boruto now being the villain.
Yeah. Wow, that was pretty.
And
interesting.
Homeless. Naruto's dead.
That was pretty interesting. But
Okay.
in any case,
So this is how part 2 is going to be for Boruto, I guess.
well, no, I already know in part 1, basically, they get their ass kicked, right? Like Boruto, they're going to be licking their wounds, and Ida's going to show up, and Ida's going to be a factor. I think they have to get rid of Code, and Ida becomes like the main villain after they get rid of Code. But I don't recall how that's done because I didn't read fully into it. I didn't want to spoil myself that much. So
Right.
And then finally, my last one is Revengers. Dude, I'm telling you, I know you said you wanted to go see the one on MI, Revengers. I know you wanted to see on MI, but Revengers, oh, what a fucking turn on Revengers. It was fucking wicked. I'm trying to see if I can find my fucking review. Where the hell is my fucking review? You know, I type in Revengers and it comes up with Tokyo Revengers. Ugh. Here, let me do this. Let me go to the main group. Go men, guys. Go men.
We're an hour in, pal.
Not go women, go men. All right, here we go. So, as I said, the penultimate episode, because this is the penultimate episode of Revengers, was absolutely fucking tits. It was fucking great. I saw this yesterday while I was out at my friend's house. She was playing the fucking Pokemon game on her Switch while I was watching this, and I was pretty lit, and I was like, wow, this is fucking nuts. So basically, Raizo and Shoji are out on a stroll, and the other Revengers, like the opposite clan of Revengers, is basically trying to assassinate them, right? And Raizo basically takes down Soji, as Soji, unbeknownst to him, is about to assassinate him because he's struggling with everything going on. And Raizo gets hit in like the back of the head, but it's just like a flesh wound. It's not anything serious. And so they go away, and what's it called? Oh, I'm getting asked about that's the joined ones later. Someone's asking about Angel Next Door, and I said that's the joined ones later. Anyway, so we basically see afterwards like a flash forward, and it's Usui speaking with Soji. Soji asked to speak to Usui, and it's him, Teppa, and Usui in the in like their little bunker area, and he's like, I want you to break down everything that's really happened. So we find out in a couple shocking revelations. One, Usui knew. He talked to Raizo's father-in-law, and the father-in-law told him like, hey, there's an assassin coming after me, and I'm going to bite the coin, and I want you to go after my assassin. They find out who the assassin was after the fact that it happens. And there's a wedding gift that was commissioned by the father-in-law for his daughter, which is Raizo's fiance. As she's grieving over her father's death, she wants to know if they heard anything about her killer. And Usui, because he didn't know Raizo at the time, unbeknownst to him, mentions, oh, we just know the guy's name, Raizo, Kurima Raizo. And she fucking loses it. Like, she absolutely fucking loses it. She like goes like hysterical crying. Then she goes absolutely fucking mental. She bites the coin and says, I want you to kill that son of a bitch. Like, that guy was supposed to be my fiance, but he was laughing at us the whole time. You motherfucker, da 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 da. Like, he was just going in. She went in, basically, dude. And what's it called? So without knowing, Usui is the one that basically took Raizo's wife and drove her over the cliff to commit seppuku. And she did it with the fucking commissioned like gift from her father. She stabbed the hairpin, stabbed herself in the neck, and that's how she fucking died. Yeah, dude, like, it is wild. So back to the storytelling, and Usui pulls out the Bitcoin, and Soji gets upset. He's like, we have a Bitcoin, like, what are we doing? We should be killing Raizo because that's what was given to us. And they were like, well, we can't kill Raizo because he didn't know what was going on. He's a product of the circumstance. He's not the reason of the circumstance, basically. Right. And so Soji's, just super pissed off about everything going on. And basically the episode kind of devolves into kind of like just the realities of everything going on. And it sets up, what's it called? Also, randomly, as I'm reading my review, there was a scene pretty weird. Basically, they took one of the girls that OD'd on fucking opium and died, and they bring her to like this random place in front of a nice carpet, and they take pictures of her dead body. And if you look on the wall where he's taking the pictures, there's just dozens and dozens and dozens of fucking OD'd women that just died off opium, and he keeps them as like a memento for his like motivation to fucking spread opium across the fucking land. He wants to see that. Super fucking sick. Like, it's next level sick. But in any case, the episode basically ends with the Revengers doing a final revenge. They get ready, they're all prepared, and they start telling the story of who the Revengers are. And you basically see them all together, kind of like A Train type of thing, the A Team, like whether you see them all lined up. They're like, we are the Revengers. And that was pretty sick. So it's basically leading to a final battle with the Revengers against the other sets of Revengers. So super wicked. I would definitely recommend this, Matt. This is one of my like top tier anime for like shocker of the year, or like surprise of the year, I should say. Surprise of the season. That's what I meant to say.
Right.
Love it.
Alrighty. We are done with our solos. Yay.
Yeah.
I'm doing drink free.
Drink free. Oh, drink 3. Oh, I think you said you're going drink free.
No. No.
Kanpai.
All right, let's do it. Play it cool, guys.
Solid episode. Actually, very good.
It's we focus more on Hayate and Igarashi for this one.
Yes.
Hayate gets so nervous that he accidentally drinks Igarashi's coffee.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is pick up from where we left off from last episode, where Igarashi gets invited to the cafe for what you call it, the guy that helped with his homework.
Yeah.
It's like, do it yourself. Here, read my book. But no, basically, it's we're actually getting a summer festival episode.
It was lame. I will say that. I did not expect that. Whenever you get a Natsuyumi festival, you expect, Hanabi fireworks. You expect like really cute stuff, and like none of them dressed in fucking in the traditional yukatas.
Honestly, that, and I'm also blaming the time because like what 3 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's the big downside of Play It Cool, guys. Like, I get 11 minutes at the same time. Kind of want more.
I don't mind it because, like I said, it's just a short and sweet anime that like is meant to. Like,
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Tickle the heart.
But yeah, Hayate's having a hard time seeing Igarashi as a friend type of thing. Like he's losing composure around him.
He's fanboying because he fanboys.
Yeah, he's fanboying. But eventually, Igarashi would basically reassure him, like, dude, it's cool. Like, I just want to be your friend. Like, I want to get to know you. I want to get to know everyone else.
Yeah, because Shun is like, I just didn't want to be like a part of your circle because I feel like you're in your own little world. And if I were to intrude on your own little world, like, it's no longer your 100% real world because I'm in it. And he's he tells him a story about Mima. And he's like, the very first protagonist I ever wrote was Mima.
About Takayuki, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like my life changed because of him type of thing. And he wants that with everyone, basically.
Yep.
So yeah, this calms down Hayate. They get all the food, and they almost forgot the takoyaki.
Yep.
It's like, wait! Well, that happened. They're all eating, hanging out. And as they're going their separate ways, like, oh yeah, Igarashi's like, oh yeah, I live this way. Haji's like, oh yeah, I live this way too.
Yeah.
They're on the trade.
Yep. Around the corner.
And they're like, oh wait, we're around the corner. As the apartment, and Igarashi looks at it like, explain. He's like, no, I didn't know you lived here.
He's like, no,
it's the same apartment.
They live in the same apartment complex, basically. And they're like, hey, this is cool that you. It's like, hey, if you ever, I'm home most of the time. If you want to hang out in my library while I work, come free. Invite all the homies too. Everyone.
Yeah, but if it'll make you feel better, invite the other 3. The festival part is lame, but outside of that, it's a nice episode.
Of course, it's a fun series. It's just a fun little cute series.
I hope we get a season 2.
I'm so glad that you like it. I told you, I knew you liked it.
It's so much fun.
It is 100%.
All right, let's move on. Let's go with Inspector.
Very solid episode.
We're still on this case. This is the only one that got more than one episode.
But that's normally how it is, because last season we got the ones with what's her face, right? And that lasted several episodes.
Yeah, I didn't expect this to be like the main. I expect this. I just didn't expect this to be like the main case of the season.
What did you expect then?
I don't know, honestly.
I think it's fine because of the fact that Iwanaga constantly says the balance between humans and Akayushi and shit is very fine, and when either of the entities cross into the others, it causes chaos and disruption. This is a prime example of that, when you have the president asking the Akayushi to kill his wife. And
I get that, but I'm saying, like, I felt like there was like no build up beforehand, like how we had with season 1 with Rika. Like, it just felt out of nowhere with this one.
It fits though, because it's layered. You get you always get that. You get an episode, and then you get another episode where it's layered, and then maybe you'll get a third episode where the reveals happen, or you get a layered episode, then you get the reveals in the next episode.
Yeah, fair.
But the way that they build it, because it's such a there's so many moving pieces involved with this. And the other thing is, it's a very realistic scenario where you have the jealous kids that want to live their lives. They consider killing their mother. You have the revelations of the personality of the mother, the true nature of her. Like, they go really in depth when it comes to psychological pieces in this particular fucking arc, and I enjoy that. I think it's really well done.
No, that's fair. But basically, Burrell. Hold on, lose my train of thought here.
You lit, boy?
A little bit.
Lit.
No, I put a little too much in that one. Oh well. Go ahead. Got another.
You want me to take over? Okay.
Yeah, I got another. So,
basically, they bring the president in. Actually, no, let me phrase that. I don't know her name, but the granddaughter of one of the people, basically,
Rion.
Yeah, Rion. She kind of figures it out to like the best of her abilities, basically, and the gang agrees with it, and so they call
basically having alibis to match the murder.
Yeah, and how everything would happen, and so they accept the answer. And they explain the answer, and it's a very, again, with Inspector, it's hard to really break down the way that Iwanaga breaks it down, because it's so complex. But basically, they tell the president their answer. The president agrees, reveals to them that he has cancer and he's gonna die, and he has to die with this regret. And like the kids shouldn't put any blame or onus on themselves for what happened. It's all him. And then at the end of the episode, Iwanaga's like, "You thought it was over, but it's not."
Yeah, because one of them said it was suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the
answer they came up with, that it was suicide.
And she like made it all herself. Like she made that elaborate type of.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then she was like, "Yeah, that's right. You all agree, right? Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
She'll have most of the money."
They didn't care.
Yeah, no, but it's more of she just wants it spread out evenly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like no picking favorites.
Yeah, but Iwanaga's like, that's the accepted answer, but that's not the real answer. End episode. So I'm very curious to hear Iwanaga's spin on it. I'm very curious.
Yeah, but it's like, what the fuck you like? What else you want?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't as horny as in this one, so
that is true. They laid next to each other, I believe, at the beginning.
Yeah, in the hotel, but that was it.
Yep.
She calmed down. Like there was nothing else for her to do.
Maybe she got a period that day. We don't know.
No, she's like, I'll go easy on you this time. Because you already talked about tunnel washing in the previous episode.
Yes. Vaginal washing with fingers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a great line. God. Still a great line.
Yeah. Alrighty, moving on. High card.
Wow, what an end.
Yeah, we'll get to that twist in a bit. But yeah, Finn, we picked up where we left off. Finn is waking up, saved by this mysterious woman. Basically, he was like basically frozen. Very cold, very cold. And while all that's going on, Chris is being tortured by one of the brothers, Jasper. just to look for the card. But this is more about Aya and Finn.
Correct, Aya.
Yeah,
Finn
because
quickly realizes that Aya is the person they were supposed to meet up with.
Yeah, and you find out she is a former high card.
Yep, and they're like, "Well, what happened?"
Let me talk to you.
Let me spit game to you, youngster.
Yep. So basically, I joined thinking I was going to be a hero, the 5 of clubs, and it was going great until it wasn't.
Her power, by the way, is gravity.
Yeah, or magnetic pole.
Magnetic pole. That's pretty cool.
No, that's a nice card with the Jack of Clubs, but
yeah.
What'd you call it? Her colleague is basically, what's the guy's name? Theodore for the Pinocchio family.
That's the main guy, the main head who was the boss at the time.
Yeah, and she's talking about how she basically left because of him.
Yeah, she become jaded because of that, and then a final incident between Theodore and her happened. And the final incident, we find out that one of her coworkers,
Tyler,
is Chris's father.
Yeah, and Tyler was in the hospital seeing that Chris is dying.
Yeah, because there was an accident. I don't know if it was an accident or some sort of planned attack, but Chris got brutally burned, like he's on life support basically. Tyler says, "Hey, I want to do an X hand to save my son. Please let me use this X hand to save my son." And Theodore's like, "No, it's illegal in our group to use an X hand. You will not use an X hand." Right, but he's like, it's my son. Please let me save my son. And he's like,
let him die.
He's a casualty. Like, that's just the way it is, brother. He's gonna die. Well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Nothing. So Aya does not like this. So first she leaves the room.
Yeah. After Theodore grabs his cards, and she's like, nope, fuck you, guy. I'm out. Leaves the room.
Yep. And then Tyler's like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm doing it anyway. He's gonna do an X hand of 4 cards.
Yep.
And Theodore was about to stop him, but Aya
shoot him. No, he was about to shoot his son. He was about to shoot Chris. He's like, I'm gonna put a stop to this right now. He pulls his gun out, he's gonna shoot Chris. And then Aya comes in, grabs a fucking table with the magnetic pull,
he pulls him into it. He's stuck.
And Tyler, do it. He does the 4-hand X play, revives his son, and he dies.
Yeah, because too much power in it.
Too much power.
Because he's using 4 cards, it takes a toll on your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that, and you hear Aya being upset when she finds out Chris is part of High Card now.
Yeah, but she leaves High Card. She's like, I'll just leave in the middle of the night. She just left in the middle of the night, never told anybody. Theodore, to her credit, let her just live with the card and just live her life for 10 years before Chris and Finn came to see her that day.
Yeah, basically, and she was about to give Finn the card, but she pulls back, saying, like, what would you have done? Type of thing.
Yeah. And Chris is like, I would have done what you did. Fuck it.
Well, Finn did.
Finn did that.
Yeah, it was like I would just do my job, basically.
Yep.
And of course, the other guy shows up.
Alex.
Yeah, Alex from the Klondike family. He's there. He's tearing ass.
Yep. And we see fucking Aya in action.
Yep. Yeah, she does. She does well.
She does well, but it's not enough. Finn gets caught. Aya gets in trouble, and it looks like they're about to go down. And who comes to save the day?
Chris. He's in a car after headbutting the other guy.
He headbutted the other guy, and if you notice, he still has his wounds, which we'll get into in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. He just drives the car over.
Yep.
To run.
Super kicks Alex in the face.
Yep.
And then fucking does something. He does something to kill him.
Yep. Like, he's out. He's dead. He's gone.
Yeah, and
they got his card.
He got his card. Finn is like, thank you for saving us. He's like, hey, why don't you use your card to heal your wounds? Chris isn't saying anything. Chris turns around, pulls his Glock out, and tells Finn, you weren't supposed to see this, or you weren't supposed to know this. Yeah. I'm sorry. Bang!
Shoots him in the chest.
And everyone is shook to end the episode. Wow.
Okay, so we're going to get a Chris episode explaining everything.
Gotta think so, yep.
Well, it showed it in the preview, so I think the episode is just called Chris.
I don't watch the previews, so okay.
Yeah. I just let it play out. And I was like, it's in the background.
Cool story, bro.
Oh, all right, moving on. Tokyo Revengers.
I like this episode.
This was fine.
Yes, it was fine. You can't shit on it, Matt. Even though
I know, I know, I still can.
Yeah, you're gonna bitch about Takemichi being a crybaby.
Yes.
I know.
Stop fucking crying.
There's just people that are overly emotional, dude.
But not like an ugly fucking cry. Come on.
Bro, I went through that time when I first started watching romance anime and I was depressed because I couldn't be with my girl at the time, bro. And I just would fucking be like a crybaby, bro, all the time. Be a crybaby all the time. But boohoo just fucking weepy crying, bro. We all been there. We all been boohoo weepy cry. He's just 13 and boohoo weepy cry.
He can just go fuck himself still.
All right, tell the 13-year-old kid.
But yeah, exactly. But they're adults in Japan, so fuck us.
They are basically.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear it. But yeah, we get a flashback of basically Takemichi broke up with Hina, and Hina in this one knew right away it was her dad.
Yep. What did you tell Takemichi?
And he's like, shit. Well, honey, I love you.
I love you, and I want you to do better. And he's a hoodlum. He can't protect you.
Yeah, he's a hoodlum. He's a gangster. We don't want.
I love Hina's answer though. Hina's like, yes, he's a hoodlum. Yes, he's unreliable. But when you cannot classify him simply by the name hoodlum, he's got so many other good traits.
How dare you say he's no good when you don't even know him?
Yes, only I know the real Takemichi, and I know that I love him. And she's just upset, runs to her room crying. The father feels guilty because he made his little baby girl cry.
Yeah, basically, hey, if you don't like it, tough shit, basically. So I'm gonna try to get him back.
Yep.
And Hina, it was just crying outside, and Mikey's sister Emma was the one that was comforting and talking to her.
Yep. They went to the shrine, a different shrine.
Yeah, they went to a different shrine, and then it's like, you want to get Takemichi back? It's like, yeah. Like, all right, hold on.
Mikey!
Yeah. No, first is Draken, I think.
Yeah, Draken.
Like, hey, is Mikey there for you? Good. You're going to go pick up Takemichi. It's like, why? Just do it.
We don't even know where the fuck he's at.
Like, well,
Mikey was like, hey, I had a premonition.
Or Mitsuya, yeah.
With Mitsuya. He's probably with Mitsuya. Let's go find Mitsuya.
Yeah, the Dragon's like, hey, we're going to go get him. Okay, bet.
Meet us in front of his apartment complex when you got him.
Or the park, yeah.
No, it's the apartment complex.
Okay, sorry, yeah. So yeah, and so that was where that happened, and now we're back to where they are.
Yep.
And then Takemichi he's crying again. He's sorry.
Please forget that we ever broke up.
Yep, and they're happy.
Hina's like, take me to the shrine on New Year's. Huh? Take me to the shrine, and I'll forget that we broke up.
Yep.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. And it's interesting because it's leading into the next episode. Because one thing we could skip ahead to, there's a very final like culmination. It felt like in this episode. Like if this was the season finale, this would have been a perfect season finale.
I was kind of expecting this to be the finale, but I feel like we got
it feels like it felt very much like a finale, but it's not, because if you listen to what Draken and Mikey were saying, they were like, you really think he's him, huh? And you're like, yep, he's definitely him. And he's like, we'll tell him on New Year's what he is. And it's like, okay. So they're setting up Takemichi to be something. He's going to end up being like third in charge or something like that. Probably, you would think. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
You know.
But we do get an anime original segment here.
Do we? I didn't know that.
With Mitsuya and Draken.
Oh, I didn't know that. And that was very nice too.
Yeah, we get a young Mitsuya and Draken, and Mitsuya was basically doing graffiti.
Yep.
Draken was watching from the sidelines.
Yep, he left his brother and sister at home to do graffiti. Draken's there the whole time. Like, hey, that's a cool dragon, dude. I like that dragon. That bottom dragon. I'm the bottom dragon.
Yeah, but
I'm the bottom.
But what you call it? We find out how Draken gets it, and it's basically he traded his Korean beef to Mitsuya because he hasn't eaten.
Yeah,
but he wants that design.
Yeah,
and you see Mitsuya there. Draken takes him to his place to hang out for a bit,
and he's like, "You live in a whorehouse?"
Yeah, and that woman's like, "Excuse you." But yeah, the ladies love Draken.
They do.
And then what you call
Draken? Give me a massage. Draken, can you believe this customer? Draken, let's play fucking cards. Okay, let's play cards.
Draken, go to the store and all this shit. But
Draken,
Mitsuya was enjoying himself. He talked about how he wants to live there, and this one hooker
Yep.
It's like, you think it's easy here?
Yeah.
All
Leave,
this
boy.
shit.
Yep. She got pissed.
Yeah, and then Dragon says, like, yeah, they
He got kicked. Mitsuki got kicked in the face by this hooker.
Yeah.
Heels. She's wearing heels, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
And she got kicked him in the face.
And then Draken explained, like, yeah, these girls don't choose to live here.
Yeah, they're not here because they want to be here.
It's more like they had no choice type of thing.
Yeah.
And then this comes at me to like then Dragon tells him to go home, basically.
That's got to be such a wild like reality. Like you've got nothing in your life except you're gonna sell your body to make like ends meet.
Pretty much.
Not even like porn, right? Where it's like, you know.
No, you no filming, no,
like
cheap money for unprotected sex.
Just to be fucking whored out. It's fucking insane to me.
It's
like
crazy.
It happens to men too, but no one really sympathizes with men in comparison to women. It's so crazy. I thought about that when I was watching the episode. I was like, that's just so like insane. Like life has given you this many twists and turns where you have to be a whore to live.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, then we see them again when they're a little older, and the dragon. They both had the dragon tattoo. And they
huh? Grow your hair out. It's my tattoo.
And the dragon said, you gave it to me for food, so it's actually mine.
Yep. And so that's why Mitsuya scratches his head where the tattoo is.
And that's where he grows his hair out.
And keep in mind, they're like 13 here. 13 with a head tattoo.
Yeah, I guess it pays to be in a brothel. I don't fucking know.
Well, but how did Mitsuya get it? He wasn't in the whorehouse.
That's true. I have no idea then. Or they just don't care then.
I think that is it in the United States or is it just in certain states? Like you can get a tattoo at like 16. I know a couple people that got tattoos at like 16. You have to get like guardian permission to get a tattoo though.
Let me see.
Would you let your child have a tattoo?
Oh, they have to be 20.
In Japan?
Yep.
And they're fucking 13.
Yep. It is illegal.
All of them, 13, 14, 15. Like fucking Hanma, for example, has punishment and pain on his fucking hands. Like, what the fuck? Draken and head tattoos. Fucking, what's his face? Suji with the fucking, like, with his, like, neck tattoo going to his chest, like, around
that.
His
I would not. I was just no, ew, ow.
Taiju, not Suji. Taiju.
Right. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that too. Taiju left the house.
Yeah.
And he basically, I thought I could make Hakai stronger, but turns out not needed here anymore.
Yeah, because this the conversation and the revelation comes when Hanma. Basically, we can skip forward to New Year's. They go to New Year's. Basically everybody kind of convenes without planning it. Everybody convened there, and what's his face, Hakai and Yuzuha are talking, and Hakai is like, "You like Takemichi, don't you?" Right? And he's like, "No, like what?" And she gets all jealous, and she's like, "Yeah, it's a one-sided crush." And then basically that's where we get the revelation that Taiju just left them. And so Hanma now is in charge of, or not Hanma, sorry. Hakai is in charge of Yuzuha, and Yuzuha has a one-sided crush on Takemichi for saving their family. And I'm just like, damn. I was like, he could bag fucking Yuzuha. Yuzuha looked like she'd be down for the shits too.
Yeah, but I don't think Takemichi's going to try to cheat anymore.
Of course he won't. I'm just saying, like, you know.
You don't have the balls to.
You could have fucked that one whore that Emma brought him in season 1.
I thought that was Emma.
Oh, it was Emma. You're right.
Yeah, that was Emma.
Bro, wouldn't that have been nuts?
She did to get Draken jealous.
Imagine if he would have fucked Draken's girl.
Oh yeah, no. I think either he would respect it or beat the shit out of her, or both.
Full death.
Like, hey, nice, right? Nice.
Bam. Yeah, nice. Death.
Yep. No, this was actually a good episode.
It was a really good episode. I liked it. And like we said, the revelation at the end is basically, or in the middle, like that's gearing up toward the next episode, is that they're going to reveal that Takemichi is something and he's going to be a part of something.
He's a bitch.
According to Matt, he's a pussy ass bitch.
Yeah. But I was saying, that's okay. He's the bitch, right? Yes.
Who's got first dibs? I got first dibs. Draken pulls his pants down.
Yep. Alrighty, let's move on. Nier Automata.
Go ahead with your baby.
All right, we got the debut of some. We'll get to them later.
Yes.
We get a little bit of Adam and Eve again, but not much.
Fucking Eve freaks me out.
That's how he just wants to play, right?
It's so like he's just so like he's an effeminate man and in like a really creepy, sinister way.
Yeah, just keep an eye on him.
It's weird. He's
yeah,
weird.
Definitely.
I get the heebie-jeebies a little bit when I hear Adam. Like, Ni-chan, why?
Yep.
Ni-chan, okay. And it's just like, dude.
He just wants to play.
You got a dick between your legs, bro. Play with that.
Yeah, exactly. But what you call it? 9S and 2B are together, and 9S is talking to 2B about like, hey, do you think Yohar is holding stuff out on us? Because basically they haven't done anything in quite a bit.
Right.
And there's like no update on everything that they have done or whatever data they have sent.
Right.
So basically, like one of the operator unit talked to them, and as 9S asked, she just brushed it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, all right, we're signing up. Thank you.
Yep.
Don't want to hear about it.
Yep.
They're walking around and they see Pascal. Well, they hear Pascal.
Yep.
He's calming down one of the machine life forms, and you find out that one lost her sister.
Mm-hmm.
She ran off on her own in the forest. Like, why?
Why? Save her. Please save her. I need her.
I love the little Pascal face. Like, they'll do something right.
No.
Yeah.
Doink,
Pascal looks like
doink, doink,
like
doink,
you guys will help, right?
Doink.
And the 2B's like, no. Wah. They're back and forth.
Wah!
Yeah.
It's equally funny as it is annoying.
It is. That's like, you know what? It's adorable because of the voices. But
yeah,
I can see why I'd be annoyed with it. But eventually 9S caved in. It's like, fine. Well, how about the machine life forms? I guess.
Yep.
And they got really happy, like tears on their face.
Oil,
like
tears of oil.
Yeah, tears of oil. Like they're gonna help you find your sister. Yay!
Yay! Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato.
Yeah, but during the whole time there, as they're going to the Forest Kingdom,
yep.
Pascal's talking about emotions all of a sudden. Again, 9S brushes it off because again, machine life forms can't have emotions.
Yep.
Hell, we're forbidden for emotions.
Yep.
And then as they get in there, we get flashbacks because from the memory chips.
Yes.
Of how the Forest Kingdom was the Machine King. And as they're looking at these memory chips, is basically how Pascal does with his refuge village.
Yep.
Where everyone's living in harmony. These machines are not hostile.
Yep.
So it's a nice recording. The king died like 150 years later. When now like this kingdom has like a tradition of a baby eventually becoming the king.
Yeah.
For however long. They go down. They see some rumbling. Machine life form detected, and they find the sister.
Yes.
And then they see someone there that's a part of the kingdom.
Yes.
It says the king's all by himself. Like someone needs to save him. Like
every time you say sister, my Siri goes off.
For some reason. Okay. One-chan. All right, we'll go with this.
One-chan.
Yes.
One-chan. One-chan. One-chan.
Yep.
Let's get there.
Basically.
One-chan. No.
Yep.
No.
Also, 9S cussed Pascal some slack because Pascal saved him.
Yeah.
When one of the fans
he was crossing a bridge and the bridge was janky.
Collapsed.
Collapsed, and Pascal saved them. And he's like, "Why did you save me?" And Pascal's like, "Why wouldn't I fucking save you, dude?"
Yeah, exactly. So now because of this, 9S finally decides to help.
Yep.
To locate the king.
Can't be helped.
Yep. And they get there, and what happens when they see the king?
The king is a child, and the king looks like an adorable little machine. And all of a sudden, a flying fucking android comes from the sky and fucking shanks the shit out of this fucking child robot. Yep. And it is dead. And Matt, who is that android that slashed the shit out of a child?
It is the debut of A2.
And she is fine as fuck.
Yes. Man. Holy shit.
Pantsu. Woo!
Yeah, but what you call it?
Do they have like, so they're androids, but they have like human skin and stuff? Like, does she have, does it have, they have, I don't know what type of pronoun you want to use for that. They?
They, she,
does it have a functional vagina?
I would hope so, yeah.
Like, you don't ever see A2 and you don't ever see B2 and a 9S.
2B and 9S, fuck.
Yeah, you don't ever see them use the bathroom or anything. Like, do they like piss oil? Like, what happens?
I think they have the anatomy, but it's not like a requirement to like go to the bathroom or anything like that.
Do they have to like carry water for lube? Just no.
Well, they have water storage in them.
So they like release the water like a reservoir when they want to get fucked.
It's like I don't know.
Asking the real questions, Matt.
Yeah. No, I have no doubt they have atomically correct.
If they have androids like that in our lifetime, are you down to bang one?
Yes. No hesitation.
As you take a sip. Yes.
That is. No, that's the goal in life for me. Fuck. Living long enough to bang one.
Bang an android. Like, I love my partner, but you're not an android, baby. You're 70 years old. Like, you know, it's been a while. Doesn't feel the same. I'm gonna bang an android.
They know what I like.
Are you letting Bash bang an android if they want?
Yeah, why not? They all Rule 44.
Machine piston cock and shit. I'm fucking done.
Look, you give up a few things chasing the dream.
Oh my god, dude.
But no, basically, the support pods are talking. They talk about how the SA2 that she's a fugitive for betraying Yorha.
Yeah.
So A2 tries to kill Pascal, but 9S and 2B save it. And then A2's like, "Oh, you guys are saving a machine life form? Oh, well, fuck you guys. Well, now you really gotta die."
Yep.
And then 9S asks, like, why'd you betray the command? And then A2 said the command betrayed us, and that was the credit.
Yeah. I believe that. Because you know how cold they are and how we get the revelation already. They're using
the humans.
They're using the humans. So it makes total sense that command is definitely like the true villain of this all.
Right.
So you know what's happened. I'm gonna give you a scenario. You tell me how off base it is.
Okay.
They obviously have to face Adam and Eve. That'll probably be the culmination battle, right? That is the culmination battle, Adam and Eve.
Eventually, not right away.
Obviously not right away. Do they manage to unite all of robot kind against command? I feel like that would be a thing. Am I on base?
Not really, no.
Not really, okay.
Not really, no.
I was just curious.
Alrighty, moving on. Buddy Daddies.
This was a really good episode.
Yes.
It was a really good episode.
But yeah, it's Christmas time, baby.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah, basically we're at the daycare, right? We're at the daycare first, doing Christmas songs, singing the Silent Night. Miri sings it well. And basically Kazuki and Rei Papa, they're about to go pick her up, but who do they see?
Her mother.
Miri's mother is standing at the gate.
Dude, look at how fucking full this is.
Shit, pal.
How fucking full this is.
Yeah, but that's going on. They ask what she's doing here, and you find out that she wants to take Miri back.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to that later on, but they were like, no, fuck that. Why now? And then as they're about to kick her out, basically, or tell her to leave, Miri sees her mother and runs towards her.
Yep.
So, of course, they take her back to their place. Miri showing her around.
Yep.
And Miri wants her cheap hamburger steak.
fucking gas station Hamburg steak.
Yeah, that.
Why is it called Hamburg steak?
Is this fucking meatloaf? No,
it's a cheeseburger.
I'm
sorry, it's a burger. It's a burger patty.
I said it's meatloaf. It's shaped like meatloaf. It's red hot like meatloaf. It's fucking meatloaf.
I guess.
I guess it sounds weird to say, but I guess Hamburg steak sounds cooler. I don't know.
Hamburg steak. Like, what's the difference? What's up with London steak? What's up with fucking what's it called? Guadalajara steak.
Wagyu steak, or
they have Wagyu steak. I
know. I gotta do that next time I go to Japan.
Yeah.
But if you go to Japan, go to that Ribeiro Steakhouse, that wrestling one.
Oh, dude!
Oh my god, it's so fucking good. What?
Is it expensive? No.
Depends what you get. I did get the Yokozuna one, so that was a little pricey.
Yokozuna.
It's a big steak, so
it sounds like a big steak.
It is. Oh my god, but it's so.
How about is that like 34 ounces, 40 ounces, 32 ounces?
Not 40s. 40 ounce steak.
Oh my god.
That and a side of rice.
How much yen? Do you recall?
Let's say 6,000.
6,000 yen.
Yeah.
So it's like $50.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, it's there was two locations. We were in the original one, so the smaller one. So
did you get the jacket?
No, I didn't tell them he used to be a wrestler, but they wouldn't care.
No, I mean you could buy it, right? You could pay for it, can't you?
No, I think that was just for wrestlers. But
is it only for wrestlers?
I don't know. I don't know if you could buy it. If you could buy it, I wish I did. I would have bought it. Let's see.
Can you buy a Ribeiro steakhouse?
Ribeiro.
Yeah, Ribeiro. You can get knockoffs for like $100, $130.
Yeah, I think that's the other store. We had the small one. There was like basically like small, like a ramen shop stalls type of thing.
Yeah,
that was the one we were at.
I would get this just to have one. Like,
I would know if I go back, I would 100% get one.
Even if it's knockoff,
I don't care. Fuck.
Yeah, you can get like, dude. They're like, if you go online, they're charging like basically like $100 for the satin because they're always satin. So like satin, like they're like between 100 and 130 if you want to get a knockoff.
Okay. So I'll wait till I go back to Japan for that. Hopefully soon, maybe in a few years.
I was gonna give you a fucking Christmas tree. Be like, here's $50. Buy yourself. Put that towards specifically a Rivera jacket.
Yes.
Put that toward a Rivera jacket.
Yeah. Let's move on though. But yeah, now that Miri's asleep, all three of them are talking, and then Kazuki asks her why now. Mm-hmm. Basically, she lost her job. Her sugar daddy or / pimp left her,
and she's got terminal throat cancer.
Yep, she can't sing anymore. She chose the mark. So basically, she wants to be a mother for however long she's got. Basically,
she, and I thought about this going ahead of time. Why didn't they just write in the like she like I promise to write in my will that when I pass, you can have her back if you're alive.
SFA, when we get back to where we get to the end, I feel like she really doesn't want her, but was forced to.
I feel she was partially forced to, and I feel like maybe she's had that revelation. I mean, do you think the next
like yes and no? But I think it wouldn't shock
me. It wouldn't shock me if you find out she's abused. Like if you see fucking what's her face be abused, Miri.
Yeah.
Like she's getting like
neglected. Yeah, you find out. Yeah, she never wanted her, but she had no choice because of. We'll talk to that in a bit.
It's not gonna get that dark. If this was a really dark anime, it could be.
No, but I feel like she's still gonna neglect her.
Yeah, I could see neglect. I could see child neglect. Like you'll see her like randomly like make her way to fucking Kazuki and Rei, and she's all dirty and crying and like, what happened? Why are you here? Yeah. Or maybe I could see them like fucking just revenge killing her mother for something.
Or she just does it on her own, but we'll get to that.
It's interesting because it's not a like I didn't know it was an original.
Yeah, it's an original.
I guess this will win best original, right?
It's my only original. You have two.
What's my other one?
Revenger.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, because I like Buddy Daddies. I like this so much more than I like fucking Spy Family.
Well, I know you do, yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that'll be tough for you. But so basically, and then the mother brought up the how like, hey, you guys killed the father.
Mm-hmm.
You think she'll forgive you if you told her?
Mm-hmm.
So they think about it, and they talk to Q. And they talk about what happened, and then Q actually mentioned, "Yeah, I told her."
Why would you do that?
Well, because like this is the best course of action because of was it like Ray's company, like Ray's father?
Yeah. She's like, they said this picture, and they showed them the picture of the thing. They're like, hey, that's from the thing. And Ray immediately notices, like, that's not the picture we took.
Yeah, and basically, and they said like, "Hey, you guys have been slacking.
Your work
You
is
can't do that."
sloppy. This is a warning for everybody's sake. Let her go, or it'll be worse. It'll be more than a
Yeah,
warning.
basically, I can only say
Unless you
basically,
intend on fucking betraying the organization.
yeah, basically, I can only save her. That's it.
Yeah.
Because if you
That's
guys
very
fuck up,
honorable of Q. Like, you thought Q might have been like a piece of shit and like sold them out and fucking would have gotten them killed, but
he probably would have, but the fact that he grew attached to Mary.
you think? I don't think he's so attached to Miri like that.
But like I feel like he
Do you think
cares
we'll get
enough.
I feel like what would help would be if they gave us a Q backstory. How did Q
Maybe.
become where he's at? I think that's an interesting fucking question. But there's only 2 more episodes after this. So
3.
Is it a 13?
Yeah.
So there's a shot that we might get a Q backstory in one of the episodes. Probably if Ray and
what you call it? I think the last one is going to be a back-to-back, like 1 hour special thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I'm looking now. It says the last air day is April 1st, so that's going to mean a back-to-back.
2 weeks. Yeah.
All right, I'm okay with that. Get it out of the way. So yeah, we actually could probably do more shit, but
okay.
Anyway,
that's gonna be one of those. You should request off, dude, so you don't have to work the next morning, because that's gonna be one of those we're up till like 3 a.m. with Starman doing these fucking podcasts.
Nah, as long as we. Well, we had a lot.
We have to do reviews. We'd have to do a review episode, and then we'd have to do a rewards episode, and then the top at the end. It's not as long, but those are each, bro. Our review episodes are topping 3 hours, more or less. We're on a good pace right now, but our review episodes are approximately 3 hours.
We could probably do a back-to-back.
Yeah, that's gonna be another 6-hour podcast recording session, I should say. Because
I'm saying like we do the finales one day and then rewards on the next day.
Well, we won't be caught up though, because Buddy Daddies comes out Friday. If you're talking about doing Thursday and Friday, I can't do Saturday because it's WrestleMania.
I'm saying, like I said, we can just review Buddy Daddies before the awards real quick.
The other option is to not do a week off and do like during summer season. We can do the awards, talk about what we've seen thus far spring. We could do that, where we do one on Friday. We could do the conclusions, the finale episodes, and then the following week we can record that special. And then I would imagine by the following week after that, most of the shows would drop, and then we would just go into like our shorter season opener, where we talk about what we've seen and like a review of what we've seen.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out.
So we wouldn't skip a week like we do.
Yeah. We'll probably do that. We'll see.
Live planning on the Talk the Kēki podcast, guys.
Yeah,
pulling the curtain back a little bit.
Yeah, that might be a little easier.
Yeah, perhaps.
So basically, Kazuki and Ray, they gotta have a choice to make, and of course, they go with letting Miri go. But they want to give Miri like the best day ever beforehand.
Yep.
So they take her rock climbing. That was a cute little scene. Kazuki be freaking out. They do rock climbing. They got some crepes. They do shopping, and they close it with the Ferris wheel.
I will say I kind of expected a little bit more from the Ferris wheel. Like we got a lot of good dialogue.
Did you think that they were going to tell her about the father?
No, I meant like visually. I thought we were going to get more.
Oh, like, visually, yeah. I wish it was a little more visually.
We got good dialogue because it was a very good heart-to-heart between Ray and Kazuki. It wasn't like two homies speaking. It was two responsible adults deciding on the recourses of their future, including becoming wanted fucking fugitives basically within the organization by turning on them for the sake of this little girl that they've grown fucking attached to. That's so powerful that you're willing to risk your life. It went from like, oh, we're doing this to feel good. No, like we're debating risking our lives to provide this girl a better future.
Yeah.
That's super parenting, because that's parenting. Parenting is sacrificing everything that you know and exist and understand for the sake of a little tiny life that doesn't know jack shit about the world. That I thought was very powerful when they had that revelation amongst each other, and they went back to the very beginning of the episode when Ray wanted to bring a cat, and it was very poetic when Kazuki was like, "Hey, remember what I told you?" Ray's like, "No, hell no, I don't fucking remember that." And he's like, "Sometimes it's more kind to not get involved." I thought that spoke volumes, because I'm sure that happens to a lot of people where you got yourself involved in some shit that you probably shouldn't have, and for the betterment of everybody involved in the action, you shouldn't have fucking gotten involved. And that was a very powerful moment for sure. 100%. I felt that. That's why that interaction was basically one of the entire reasons why I loved this episode.
It was a great episode.
Yeah.
But all of that happens. They leave the Ferris wheel. And now they see, oh yeah, your last surprise, you get to have a sleepover with your mom.
Yeah. Which isn't probably a sleepover.
And it was basically like goodbye. Kazuki wraps her up in like a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And Kazuki looks at Ray, he's like, we haven't changed at all, did we? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that episode.
Great episode. I officially graded this a 4. No matter what happens, it's not going to be a 5 for me, but it's certainly not going to. I don't think this.
No, it's definitely a solid 4.
It's a solid 4. It's not going to go below. For sure. I graded this a 4. Are you done with your grades, by the way? Side note?
Most of them.
I don't have grades for. Let me tell you what I don't have grades for really quick. Anime list. I don't have grades for High Card, Mononogatari, Nier, Revenger, Angel, Ice Guy, Revengers, and Stampede. I can't do Stampede.
But my rom-coms, except for Nagatoro, is a 4.
Oh no, dude! I'm struggling to want to give fucking Angel a 5 when I get into it.
Well, Angel's a 4.5 for me right now. Well, I say Tomo, Nice Guy are 4s.
Can I get to a 5?
I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends on how it ends.
I haven't graded it. Nagatoro's a 4. Tomo's a 4. And Starman and I had this debate. We'll talk about it as we get into the rom-coms momentarily, but
yeah, those are going to be our co-mains because they're penultimates.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait. All right, let's move on. Anything else?
My Hero Academia.
We get the battle.
Not really a battle, but
no, not really.
No,
before we continue, I just want to say for the record that if Deku was 100% full strength, he would solo everyone except for Bakugo and Shoto.
Well, I think he'll beat him, but it'll be a lot harder.
Yeah, so he couldn't solo them. I don't think.
No. But basically,
he easily solos everybody else without
right now. Yeah,
his girl, fucking not Todoroki, the guy who got Dark Shadow, Sue,
yeah, the fucking sugar diabetic guy, Todoroki. There's so many people. But yeah, all class 1A.
Yeah.
But basically, Deku is not really fighting. He's just basically trying to get away.
Yeah.
But as he's trying to get away, almost every classmate tries to reach out to him in terms of talking. They all try to talk no jutsu to him.
Yep.
Like how a great friend he is, or he doesn't need to be alone. He doesn't have to be alone.
Yep.
Everyone wants support. Bakugo says he knows what he has to do. Well, we'll get to that later. But yeah, Deku does not use his quirk to attack them. And again, it's just more of escaping, running away.
Yeah.
Making sure they're not hurt while Deku's just going, stay away, go away.
Yep.
You don't need this.
Right.
I don't want anyone hurt anymore because of me.
Right.
But it just gets to the point where Deku is just so tired. He's having a hard time keeping up. But Class 1A, they do a whole team thing. Uraraka launches the thing.
Yeah.
As Ida with his super speed.
This was a movie-esque fight. I 100% got movie vibes watching this.
Yeah. No, I still love the second movie fight with Deku Bakugo against that one guy.
Yeah, that was solid.
If that was all for one, I think that should have been the finale. If that was all for one instead, they beat him. The quirk's gone. No one can get it.
I think that's going to be the finale. I think it's where.
But I'm saying for that, I feel like that should have been how that fight went down. Should have been the finale. I should have said that for the finale instead of just a non-canon movies.
Yeah.
I bet that would have been so fucking good.
Yeah.
But details,
details, pal.
Yeah, details, pal. He's talking about how he wants to keep up with him. He wants to be that friend for him after everything he's done for him.
Yeah.
Again, with his uniform breaking up, but he actually catches him, hugs him, says, "We're not letting you go again." Yes, heart.
No, I'm saying that's a girl, I guess.
Oh.
She doesn't. She's fucking.
But yeah, they have Deku restrained for now, but Bakugo walks up to him, and he says, "I'm sorry." After basically for everything, from childhood, and just how he talked down to him, and just how he sees him now. This was a really touching scene between them.
It was. This is a full acknowledgement. It's no longer a hateful respect. This was a full acknowledgement. Dude, I didn't understand myself, but now that I understand you and really got to know you, you're my dog for life. This is I respect you. I feel for you. Yeah, it is
wonderful stuff. Uraraka was telling Deku it's okay, you can come back to school. They said they'll take you back.
Yep.
And again, we're gonna do everything we can for you.
Yep.
Just don't leave, type of thing.
Yep.
So he kind of gives in. He's too tired to really fight back or anything.
Yep. And he's just in emotional distress. The whole time hearing them, but he's on autopilot. But from the time that Bakugo fucking stopped, from the time that Inganium stops him, he's that cracked him. And
he processed everything.
And then when he heard Bakugo, he processed it all, and it broke him. He was emotionally spent, physically spent. He was broken, not in a negative way, but just he reached his peak.
He didn't know what to do. Yeah,
he reached his edge. He reached his limit. And they said that you're reaching your limit. You're reaching your limit. He reached his limit, and he collapses in fucking Bakugo's arms.
Yep, and basically now he's passed out.
He passes out. He wakes up in front of the school, and they go inside the school, and there's a giant protest saying, "Get Deku the fuck out of this school."
And then Uraraka's
"Okay, no problem." And
Uraraka's nope.
Yep. Grabs his hand.
You're not going anywhere.
Yep. And it's supposedly the next episode is going to be Uraraka basically talking to the mob.
Right.
It's a 5. How dare
it's a 5.
How dare anybody ever say this is not a 5? Starman, you fucking idiot. How dare you not say this is a 5 anime? How dare you?
I will say though, I'm a little blue-balled of how short the whole Dark Deku thing was.
It was good.
It was good, but I feel like it was.
Did you expect Deku to go and kill one of the fucking one of the?
No, villains? But I'm not saying not 3 to 4 episodes. That's it. He just threw a tantrum for a night and that's it.
It was a build-up because there's story to the Deku arc, and it's not about Deku being dark. It's about Deku growing within his darkness, and that's what he's done. He's grown, and that's the story of My Hero. The story of My Hero is growth. Right. It's coming of age from a superhero perspective.
Right.
That's what it is.
Say that.
You know what I mean? So, it doesn't deviate in any way, shape, or form from the story.
Fair. That's fair. Alrighty, should we get to our next one?
What is it?
Trigun.
I love Trigun.
My heartstring tugged a little bit.
It did. It
I was
did.
like, no.
It did. Rest in peace, Roberto.
Ah, man.
Rest in peace, Roberto. Here to Roberto.
Hold on. Number 5.
Are you lit? I'm chilling right now. Like I'm
I got a good buzz going.
You got a good buzz going? I'm relaxed right now. I'm very relaxed.
But again, I'm off for 10 days, so.
Are you off for 10 days?
Yeah.
To Roberto.
Roberto.
Pour another one for you being off for 10 days and relaxing, buddy.
Yeah. I'll drink it later, though.
Do a half. Do a half. Don't do a full. Do a half. Or a quarter. So you have a little more.
Okay.
That's what we do, bro. You do halves.
Yeah.
I've learned that if I'm going to do shots, like I'm doing halves until it's like something like worth it. And then I do
Punish Meryl will now take the stage.
I want to fuck Meryl so bad.
So someone said this will bring in Millie. Like, do you think Millie's needed at all or no? Personally, I don't.
It depends on how they present her.
Like, is she not going to be the new employee for this way, and now Meryl's the one guiding her, or
it depends on how long the season goes.
I think this is a split core.
But all right, so you being off for 10 days, buddy. Love you. No, honestly, it depends on see, they told the whole story and they told their story in the previous iteration in 24 episodes, 26 episodes.
Yeah.
And a movie that kind of was related, but not really.
Yeah.
It depends. I guess the only thing I could think of is if they do a if this core ends kind of blue balled, kind of mid, then they can, for the core 2, they can like do a time skip, and then you'll see Millie.
It depends on if they're still gonna be in the July city or not.
Well, July is a constant factor. They're gonna, no matter what happens, I think they'll branch out of July. They may find themselves back in July, but
yeah, they'll definitely come back if Knives is there. Yeah.
Yeah. Part of me feels like the final battle may take place at the crash site. Because if I'm not mistaken, we're in the final battle for Trigun 1, was it in the middle of just a random desert, or was that near the crash site?
I think it was near the crash site, from what I remember. It's been years, so.
It's also poetic, now that I think about it, in this, like, I just literally thought about this second. In the final scene of Trigun, of the original Trigun, it's a garden.
Yeah.
And they talk about how, like, the garden is a viable way to accomplish life, but it's going to take hundreds and hundreds of years in order to make that sustainable, to make it into a new Earth. Because basically, in essence, they're on like a Mars type of planet, and they want to make it into Earth. So, I mean, it probably has nothing to do with that. I'm probably thinking too much about it, but it's kind of, I think of those type of things, like, how Earth was cultivated. Earth has always been, supposedly, according to scientists in history, this lush planet. Not all planets. How does that lush develop? It's not, I mean, you can say by whatever god you believe in, but
right.
To me, that's more proof that aliens exist. Long story short.
Right.
Anyway, we digress.
But anyway, basically, we picked up where we left off with Roberto and Meryl. What's the person's name with the worm that starts with a V?
Zaza,
sorry. Yeah, Zaza. And then we get
Zaza the Beast, Zazie the Beast, something like that.
Zazie the Beast. Sorry, that's what it is. Yeah. And then we see Professor Bill Conrad, and he's like talking about how this is basically he's with Knives because he's doing a procedure that will save humanity, like these humanoid type things.
Isn't it great also, like the revelation that you learn about Conrad?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good revelation.
Yeah, they talk about how he created Wolfwood or Livio.
Yeah.
Like, this is another chance to save humanity.
Yeah.
Mixing like how vast and Knives are.
No, but I'm talking about the revelation that he was the scientist that was on the ship that survived. He was on the ship that crashed, survived, and turned to the dark side because of Knives.
Yeah, and he followed Knives.
That's so wild.
It is wild, but it's like he sees his vision. But Meryl Roberto, they don't like that.
Of course not.
So, Elandria, one of the childs.
How did you feel about her being naked?
It was weird.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
I didn't look at her like, you know, I normally see like naked anime and I'm like, ooh, naked anime. But like she's like even though she's probably like, I don't know, 100 years old. But like the principle of her
Yeah.
as like a loli was like
It was a
couldn't get
weird
into it.
setup.
Couldn't get into it.
Yeah. Basically, this child is fighting Roberto and Meryl.
Yep. Shooting fucking nails.
Yeah, shooting like a nail gun while Roberto's trying to get the elevator going.
Yep.
And
they managed to escape.
Vash and Wolfwood were there at the nick of time. They basically take their place to go basically fight.
Yep. And they tell Meryl and Roberto to get away. Roberto and Meryl get into the elevator. And Roberto was like, fuck, they got me.
Yep.
And there's a giant nail in his fucking spleen.
Yep. And Meryl cannot accept this.
He's like, let me help you. She's like, no. She's like, if you pull it out, it's just going to make it worse. And he's just bleeding out in the elevator.
And he actually calls Meryl by her name.
Yeah. And says, like, you know, she's like, pull out my flask. And he's like, I guess I got to help you. I'm like, well, it's better than dying sober, which I chuckled at a little bit. Yeah. But he basically tries to hand her gun and says, like, hey, it's up to you now, kid. And then just drops the gun, passes away. He's dead.
2 more episodes.
Rest in peace, Roberto. And toward the end, we have to continue. They basically go on. They manage to stop homegirl. What's her name?
Yep. Eliandra.
They stop her. Vash still tries to be considerate of everything, and Wolfwood's like, no, what the fuck, dude? Like, dude, what the fuck are you on? And the episode basically ends with Meryl picking up the gun, making sure it's loaded, cocks the chamber, and she's got a serious look on her face like, I'm about to kill a motherfucker.
Exactly.
She won't. Vash will stop her.
No, yeah, she'll get very emotional about it though, yeah.
And it'll tug the heartstrings, I think. The way they've delivered this, what she does will be a defining moment for sure. And I think it will 100% tug at like the heartstrings of the viewer. I really think it's gonna.
I can't wait. This is a 5 for me.
I don't want to rate it a 5 yet, but I can't like think of if it going. It's definitely a minimum of 4, minimum, and I want to rate it a 5, but I agreed with Starman from this perspective that if it's a 26 episode series, you can't rate it a 5 so soon. I wanted to rate My Hero a 5 from the get go, but I waited until like episode like 17 or something like that before I rated it a 5. It's fucking brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And for the people that are not watching it, you are missing out on brilliance. This is much more
well. Did not want to give it a chance. Like, okay, fine, more for us.
You're missing out tremendously. Like, just from the perspective of caring about the characters, it is eons better. I care about every character, including Vash, far more.
Yeah, Vash, Wolfwood, Meryl, Roberto.
Far more than I ever did in the original Trigun. The Wolfwood was the best character in the original Trigun, and he.
But they actually developed him a lot more, better.
Yes, they gave him a backstory. They gave him a brother, a legitimate brother. They gave him sympathy, even though he dies. He dies so he comes in as a sympathetic character. In the middle, he becomes a piece of shit, and at the end, he dies a sympathetic character. He's a sympathetic character from fucking jump while being a piece of shit.
Yeah, they mixed the two. Yeah.
Well,
hell, even Vash knew about him basically being a traitor.
He's sleeping with the devil. Vash is sleeping with the devil in essence when he hangs out with Wolfwood, but he sees the good in Wolfwood, and he sees that even though the professor has fucking the scientist has fucking twisted him and augmented him and ruined him, he's still got his soul. Wolfwood has a soul when it's all said and done. That's brilliant. Yeah. Meryl's not feckless, right? She's not just chasing after Vash because she loves him. She has reason. They gave Meryl a purpose. Yeah. They gave her purpose. It's amazing. It's amazing. 209 around there, 207. So we got to clip that so we could show fucking Angel and Starman.
Right, we'll get to that. But let's move on. We got 4 more.
Hey,
Yeah, you go ahead with this one, Angel.
you want to do? Well, I guess no. Let's do Tomo first.
All right, we'll do the
You want to end? Are you saying you want to end the romcoms with Nagatoro? Is that what you want to? Is that your?
I was going to do the penult. Sorry, we got 5 left, but I was saying we're going to have the penultimates as.
Fuck me. All right, fine.
Yeah, because Nagatoro, Tomo, and Ice Guy are have their penultimates.
They're talking about Angel now. We watch Angel. We adore Angel.
Yep, we love Angel here. So
we don't love Angel Rodriguez. We just love Angel.
No, he's a
piece of shit.
We love you.
I'm gonna meet Angel for the first time on Sunday. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I put Dick instead of Angel.
We love Dick.
I mean, you've had Dick. I don't have Dick.
Yes. All right, move on. Talk about your baby here.
My baby. My baby. Again.
And the wet dream. And
we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. She will too.
Eventually. I can't wait till they make a doujin of this. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la again. All right, go ahead.
It was stellar. Angel Next Door was simply stellar for episode 10. It starts out very somber. Mahiru manages to notice, again, it's just, even just starting off on the commentary, just the principle of that's how deep your connection is, where you could see when your partner is not well. Everything can be completely fine, and it's not. Like, I'll give you a real life example with my friend, right? And she's at the bar. We're at the bar. My girl, our best friend, and one of the homies that stays at like this place where she works at. She works at a hotel. There's a guy that stays there. He's really cool. We're all cool with him. And they've, done things. And we're just chilling, talking, whatever. He automatically, right out the blue, is like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're not yourself. What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, that's so nice." Like off rip, because I already knew the circumstance. And she was like, "Wow, like how did you like?" She's like, "You're just not yourself." And so she proceeded to tell him her story about what was going on. And I think that's off the rip. One of the best things you can get out of a partner is being able to like discern when your person is not your person. And it can be the most minute thing. And just understanding that person enough to know when something is off, even so slight, is just so brilliant. It's absolutely adorable. So it's the shit that you should live for in looking for a partner. Right. It's amazing. So Mahiru notices immediately Amane is just not quite himself.
Yeah.
And Amane is like, "Well, don't worry about it. It's nothing important." And she's like, No. Like, tell me. Like, just, I'm here.
Like, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to laugh at you.
Let me listen to you. Basically, Amane goes into the story about the whole reason why he's living alone is because he was bullied in middle school. He was used. He was naive.
It was mostly the used part because he overheard.
Yeah. So basically, there was some bullies and they used him for his money. His family is very well off. He was a very bright kid, like very like happy, like go lucky. The way he is with Mahiru now, he was like that in general. And then he found like these guys. He started hanging out with these bullies. They were using him for his money. He overheard them talking shit about him, like, "Oh, we use him for his money." Da 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 da. And he confronts them about it, and they like tell him like, "You're only good for money. Like, fuck you, kid." Right? But because of this, because he was so trusting, and I've been here because I'm a very trusting person myself when it comes to friendships, and I've been burned in the past because of that. Like, he becomes disillusioned. He becomes disenfranchised with the idea of human interaction, and so he starts to like distance himself. He becomes wary of trusting other.
Loses confidence in himself.
Yeah, he loses confidence in himself. And so he decided basically like, "Hey, in high school, I want a brand new start. I don't want to know anybody. Like, send me to Tokyo."
Right.
Cool. He gets his style. His parents are well off. They love him. And we know that. It's the complete opposite. He mentions that. Give me a second to drink.
Right.
And so, basically that's how he ends up where he's at. And he tells Mahiru basically to don't worry about it. My story doesn't compare to your story. Punished Meryl will now take stage. Oh, that we mentioned that already. Sorry.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. All right. I just noticed the comment. And Mahiro, to her credit, is like, listen, like you can't compare the two. I get it, but this is something that only basically you feel. Like this is a pain that you carry, and only you know how to deal with it. And I just want to be here for you to help you deal with that. And that is, again, amazing. She just wants to be a supportive partner.
Yeah.
And that is all you can ever ask for. As someone who deals with a partner that like constantly struggles, we constantly struggle with our ups and downs. It speaks so much to me when it comes to like just the principle of her wanting to like just be there. Like she doesn't have to do shit, right? He doesn't want her to do shit. She just wants to be supportive, be there to like, you know,
right,
rely on. And again, just because of male pride, Amane is like, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. She's like, no, like she's very insistent. And she mentions that, I believe, I don't know if it's here or later on in the episode. She's like, women can be persistent. And so I'm being persistent where I want to be here for you. And she grabs Amane by the head, brings her to her bosom, not in a sexual way, just brings her to her bosom. And like basically tells her like, it's okay, like I'm here for you, I'm always going to be here for you. And they embrace, just a nice long warm embrace of a hug. Very wholesome, very amazing, right? And so the next day they go to school, and a couple of the girls go up to Mahiro and they're like, hey, you know, we heard you were walking the mall with a guy. And she goes, yeah it was. And they're like, oh, is that your boyfriend? And she's like, no, it's just a friend. You know, we're good friends.
But it's a date, right?
But it's a date, right? And she's like, well, I guess you could say, yeah, it's a date. And they're like, what do you mean? You guess you say, like, what's this? And she's like, he's a friend, but he's the dearest person that I hold to her. Bro, I felt like, oh my God, squee. Like, bro, I squeed. It was so beautiful. Like, she trusts, and Amane is completely caught off guard. He's like, huh? Nani? Nanda sore? What's this? What's going on? So he confronts her basically when they get home from school that day. She talks about it, and like, I can't.
You sure it's okay to say that?
It's okay to say that. And she's like, yeah. She's like, listen, being popular means that everyone judges everything you do, and the best way to confront rumors is to give them a little bit of the truth, you know. And that made perfect sense. But she basically said, I meant to do this. Like, I meant to tell them this. I want people to know how much you mean to me without them knowing exactly it's you. And Amane is like, well, what if I did that? And she's like, you wouldn't, but
you wouldn't, but say no, but
you wouldn't, but you know. And so again, just another interaction, and they're continuing to have their interaction. And she's like, oh, by the way, Itsuki and Katawaki are coming through to have a study party. And she's like, okay. And she's like, hey, can I study too? And he's like, yeah, if you want, no problem. And she's like, you want to invite Chitose? And of course, Chitose already fucking invited herself.
She invited herself.
She invited her fucking self, of course, right? And so they're like, ugh. So they all come through the next day, and Katawaki is like, hey, oh, I skipped the part. I skipped the part. Yes. Yeah. So that night after they have this interaction, basically, Amane goes to sleep. Amane dreams of Mahiro, dreams of their first time together. And Mahiro is wearing some nice, like, sexy little lace, not lingerie, but like a sexy,
like a nightgown type.
Yeah, sexy lace pajama. And she's like, hey, you know, touch me more, be gentle. She goes in for the kiss. Amane wakes up in a cold sweat, pulls the sheets off, looks over, and he's like, son of a bitch.
He even told her.
He had a wet dream. Wait, there's more. So the next day they go to school, and Chitose is like, hey, why you look so fucking like tired? Like, what's going on? And she plays it off. He's like, I've just been running. And he's been working out more. Right? And he tells Mahiro this too, like, you know, for male pride, I just want to look better. I want to feel better. She's like, oh, that's good. You know, and I guess the whole story of this is A, like the principle of their development, but B is the title of the story, which we'll get into at the end. It's the title of the story, or the title of the series. And so he's very like short, kind of cold. And Mahiru, when they get home, is like, what did I do? Tell me what I did. I apologize for whatever I did.
It's not what you did.
It's not what you did. And she's like, well, what's going on? He's like, I'm just thinking about a lot. It's very personal. And she's like, well, you don't want to tell me? Another cue of their relationship. Like, you know, like, I'm feeling something personal. Well, you can't trust me? Tell me whatever it is. I'm here to listen. I'm here to be here for you. And so he tells her the story. And so she's like, so I seduced you in your dream? And he goes, yeah. And she's like, well, what did I do? And Amana's like, no, I'm not going to fucking tell you what you did. Like, why do you want to know? And she's like, it's good to know. So I don't do it, or I do it, you know? And she's like, why? He's like, why? She's like, maybe I want to make your heart flutter. I want to make you get excited. I'm like, okay, we get horny Mahiru. Okay.
Yep.
Again, key for Dojin. But I digress. Anyway, so the day of the party of the study group comes, everybody studies. Katawaki himself is actually impressed. He's like stunned, and they're like, "What's up, Katawaki?" And he's like Shina-san, Mahiru looks so like natural in your house, like it's like your wife. And he's like, "Yeah, well, I mean, she comes every day to cook for me." And then fucking Itsuki and Chitose are like, and that was cute. Yeah. And so they do the studying. Everything is all good. They leave for the day. They're tired, and Mahiru, just like a wife, gives him a cup of tea, and they speak, and they have a conversation basically. And I forgot to actually let me backtrack real quick. Before the study party, what's it called? Mahiru's like, hey, you're really serious about wanting to do good for these tests. And Amon is like, yeah, I want to get in the top 10. And Mahiru's like, okay, if you get into the top 10, I'll grant you any one wish.
Yep. No matter what it is.
No matter what it is. And so he goes, even if it's a risky wish, like something risque. And she's like, it depends, but I think I would be impressed by your gall to ask me that, your manly gall to ask me that, and I would probably grant it anyway.
Basically, I think it was like use her as a lap pillow.
Yeah, so he requests to basically use her as a lap pillow. And she's like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, bro, like, give me some topping.
No, I was like, no, she's like, God damn it, that's fucking fine.
Anyway, so everything happens. They go to they leave, they have a conversation. And the conversation is just basically like, hey, no matter what like is going on, like, I enjoy taking care of you. You're helpless. You know, it's kind of like little digs at him, but in cute ways. And they're like, hey, like, I enjoy taking care of you. Let me spoil you, Rotten, is basically what she's saying. Let me spoil you. I want to spoil you. I enjoy this. And she looks at him in the eyes, and he's flustered. She comes closer. They're about 3 inches apart. She takes her index finger, rubs her index finger on his lips, and says, let me spoil you. And she smiles. End of episode. God damn.
I did appreciate Amane a little more in this episode. He's still not best boy for me, but I kind of get him a little bit.
How is he not best boy? Who's your best boy right now?
I'm not telling you.
All right, give me 2 options.
No.
All right, so why is he not best boy?
No, I just didn't like him that much in the early episodes, but again, as these progress, I get him a little bit.
He is the ultimate respectful gentleman. He has every opportunity that every pervert boy would ever want. He's got this girl in the palm of his hand. If he really wanted to, at this stage, she's willing. Because there's a scene that I didn't go over early on when she's trying to comfort him, right? He grabs her from behind, tells her, don't you dare turn around. And like in an embrace. And she's embarrassed. And she has this face of like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this. But I willingly accept him doing this. I'm willingly accepting him wanting to, like, what is he going to do? Is he going to grab a boob? Is he going to fucking hold my waist? Is he going to kiss my neck or nibble my ear? Like, there's now in this episode, and that's something that I disagree with Starman so much, because he's like, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. Progressively, they've continued to improve over their relationship. But now, for the first time, we're getting sexual tension. We're getting physical tension between them. And that's one of the rawest things.
Yeah, not something that happens like the first episode or any of that shit.
I appreciate Horimiya because they did have sex, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not looking for sex. There's not a single ounce of me that wants them to truly have sex. It'd be great for my fucking perverted self, but I'm not looking for that. But they're getting physical tension. They're getting closer. She holds she holds both his cheeks. He pets her. Touching his lips. Like just the subtle body language that she exudes to him is absolutely phenomenal. And he's best boy for me because he doesn't take advantage of that. You would think, oh, he's kind of a putz, right? He doesn't realize these things. You could say that, but he's respectful. He's kind. He doesn't want to overextend the boundaries. He's fully aware that if he does a wrong move,
it's over.
And it's over. And that's not the case. She is so fully invested in this man. Like outside of rape, God forbid, like he could do no wrong because he's simply himself. She fell in love with him because he's himself. And
he has self-control.
He's got self-control, and he's a good-natured, kind-hearted, warm soul. She mentioned, again, another part that I skipped over. She's like, I enjoy these first. Everything I do with you is first. You're the first man that I've ever had an interaction with. You're the first man I've ever wanted to get close with. You're the first man that's ever I've ever touched, I've ever hugged, I've never wanted close to me. Even though you're a man, you mean more to me than any other person in my life. She has literally said those words. That is fucking amazing. That is beautiful. That is truly beautiful that she there's something about that to be said. When a woman doesn't when you're not you're not making the move and the woman needs to make the move, the way she goes about it is so proper and so admirable. She's not throwing herself at him by any means of the imagination, but she is just offering her full unconditioned love to him. She even says that, she's she basically says that, toward the end when they give the hug, she's like, for once, let your guard down, let me in. And it's not in a manipulative way. She's not using him. She has no plans to fucking do him dirty. Let me in, break down your guard. Let me be the one that you share these deep emotions and thoughts and feelings and ideals with. That's amazing. It's so fucking amazing. And we're only 10 episodes in. We have another 2 to go.
Yep. Last one, penultimate is tomorrow.
Penultimate is tomorrow. I'm still waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm waiting for something to go awry. I'm waiting for someone that isn't supposed to know, to start talking shit. And I'm honestly thinking, truthfully, honest to God, Amane is going to step up. And that's going to be his most defining moment this season, is when he steps up, and he steps up for Mahiru. He steps up for himself. He claims her. Whatever scenario that happens, that will be his defining moment. That will cinch him best boy. It will cinch it. I cannot wait. I'm talking myself into a 5. I just want to see the moment. I want that fucking moment. And this is the only show that's made me shed a tear this season. And lately, and I had mentioned that. I mentioned it to my friend Carlino when we were hanging out, right? I was like, lately, ever since things have been good with my girl, I haven't seen any rom-com anime that have touched me in that way. Maybe because they're not as good, or because maybe my love life is more satisfying than what it was before. But just the way Angel portrays this budding relationship is truly a encapsulation of what all people should truly look for. This is an encapsulation of what your relationship ideally should be, without any sexual pretense to it. That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Alrighty, moving on. Nagatoro.
Progression.
We got some progression. We basically picked up where we left off, where Tsunomiya tells Senpai, "Hey, take her on a date."
Mm-hmm.
While Nagatoro says, "Hey, I'm gonna do judo and bully Senpai."
I'm gonna take it all.
Yep, because he's a good sub.
And not Senpai dick. I'm gonna take it all emotionally.
Yeah, take all of them. Naruto doesn't know. He's like, I don't want that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when Tsunomiya gets picked up by class president, he asks her, basically, she knows about the whole thing, and the advice she gives him is follow your heart.
Mm-hmm.
While Tsunomiya idolizes Kaicho's helmet, the buddy helmet. Yep. Yeah, so basically, Senpai waits for Nagatoro at Judo Club.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, you got out late," like teasing and type of thing. Were you spending all night with the hussy, basically?
All night long.
And he's like, no, being teased. And they said there was a break coming up. And didn't say it was a date, but basically asking her if she was free. And eventually got to the point where she actually says yes, and it's an aquarium date.
Yeah.
So he actually blurted out, listen to the follow your heart thing.
Yep.
Again, didn't say date, but still invited her to go somewhere outside of school, not club.
Yep.
So progress, really good progress.
Yes.
And
I love the line from Nagatoro. He's struggling, right? Senpai's struggling with trying to ask, and Nagatoro is like, "Hey, if you have something to tell me, say it properly." And it's a callback to what he had said to himself, like, "Hey, if I've got something to tell you, I want to tell you properly."
Yep.
Beautiful callback.
Nice callback.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the next day. Two separate things. First, Senpai, he tells Tsunomiya about, "Hey, I asked her out."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Good job."
Yeah.
Like a demonic type of fucking thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, on the other side, it's all not so gravy.
Yeah.
But Nagatoro spaced it out. Gamo and the crew, minus the prostitute.
Yep.
Basically,
we actually get words from Yoshi, not just ad libs.
Yeah, we got some words from her. That was surprising. Finally,
Yoshi's not a whore. I don't think Gamo's a whore either. I think Gamo's gay.
The other one. Lesbian. No. Talk about the other one.
Oh, without Sakura.
Yeah, without Sakura, she wasn't there.
Oh yeah, she's blowing somebody.
Yeah, it was just Gamo Yoshi, like how it used to be originally.
Yeah, Sakura's blowing somebody right now. It's behind the school.
Yeah. So yeah, Nagatoro explains what happens, but Gamo and Yoshi, they have a little side thing saying, "So they took it as she's gonna take Senpai's virginity.
We must save Paizen's virginity.
We cannot have this. No.
Why are you cock blocking, bitches?"
Yeah, we'll get to cock blocking.
No, that also irks me because they think Nagatoro is like some sort of slut. No, Nagatoro is not some sort of fucking slut.
Yeah, we'll get to cock blocking. We'll get to cock blocking with Ice Guy in a bit, but
yeah. Oh my god. Hey, I gotta pee real quick. Keep talking.
Yeah, go on. But we get to the next day and it's Senpai. He's waiting. So maybe Nagatoro stood him up, but no. It turns out Nagatoro is there. She has a nice little outfit on. They're all meeting up. They're again happy. But in the corner, we see Gamo and Yoshi saying, "Let's go save Paizen's virginity." And on the other corner, Tsunomiya and Sana, they say, "Let's go. Let's save Senpai. Make sure the date goes well." They want the date to go well. Yeah. So our finale is going to be the aquarium date, and can't wait. Yeah. So fun stuff there. We're going to get to Tomo now.
Before you move on, hold on. I got something to say. Let me finish.
All righty. As he is peeing, we are waiting.
I didn't touch my dick. So for those you didn't wash your hands. I didn't touch my dick. Pull the shorts down. Let it rip.
Well,
We're
I'm
good.
getting my shot ready for the main event. So.
Oh, you're getting your shot ready for the main event.
Yep.
This is the most I think you've drunk on this podcast.
This is the most I've drunk ever.
Oh, stop. No, it is not.
I usually do a drink or two.
No, this is the most that you've drunk ever. I was going to say, you drank more when we hung out.
Yeah, okay.
Because you had mixed drinks, you had shots.
Yeah.
And you had the edible.
Right. So
Good
yeah,
time.
the most I drank in a while. I will say that.
Happy St. Patty's, buddy.
Yep, I'm gonna do more tomorrow. Fuck.
You're off for 10 days, brother. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I got the con and fucking Wednesday. Well, I'm leaving Wednesday for that, but I got my friends coming up. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday, depends on if my friend gets his costume done.
Yeah, and then
hopefully Monday. But
then you have the bingo.
What?
And you have bingo.
Yeah, sure. I got bingo.
No, but I was gonna say, like, you know what sucks is like I'm like normal me would be like I'm excited to see Nagatoro's like progression. Like, are they gonna kiss? What are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna like reveal anything in terms of feelings? But then I saw. Did you see the panel that was on Facebook regarding Senpai and Nagatoro from the manga?
No, I do feel like we're gonna get a season 3 though.
We 100% will, because the panel that I saw is they're in a hot spring in onsen, and they're in the onsen together, naked.
Yep. Well, they usually are naked in those.
So, but like literally, like it's Senpai is like got his back towards Nagatoro, and Nagatoro is like pressing her like A-cup titties like on his back, naked.
Yep, naked. Alrighty, shall we get to Tomo?
Is that our co-main?
No, co-main's Ice Guy.
Okay, let's get to Tomo.
I got the Tomo. Basically,
good progression, and not on the same front that we would imagine.
Right, and we'll get to that in a bit. Basically, it starts off with Tomo wants a job, as she tells Miss Susan that because it's June's birthday coming up.
Yep, I want to buy him a present.
Yep, and nothing shady, and Law's nothing shady.
Yep.
And Miss Suzu says you should just get a part-time job then.
Yep.
And then Carol, of course, goes, I wanted. All right, cool, fine, whatever. But Tatsumi, he hears this and he says, well, you can come, why not come work for me? And it's his family business. And we see Tatsumi's father.
Yeah.
And it's a ramen shop.
Yeah.
So basically, get all this. We see Tomo in a maid outfit. Same with Carol. Yep. First, Tomo's all flustered, embarrassed.
Yep.
But
Mizuzu wearing fucking cooking clothing.
Yep. She's like, I ain't doing that. I'd be dead. I'd rather be dead.
Yep.
So all that's going on. They get the customers in.
Yep.
And Mizuzu talks normal. She's friendly.
You can put on a good front, but we've always known that.
Yeah, but like it's more fleshed out here.
Yep.
Like almost a smile, a happy tone in her voice for once in her life.
Yep.
Carol's useless, so they have her go outside.
Yep.
So Carol is the panda girl with the signs.
Yep.
And she actually asks, "What sound does a panda make?"
Rar. Kumo.
Say, rar.
I want to see that in dub.
Yep. Oh man.
Hold on. Speaking of dub, real quick, if I can go backwards, way back, High Card. I was thinking about this as I was watching High Card. I would want to watch, and I think this might shock people. When it comes to English-based anime, like in England, in America, I think I want to watch the dub. It feels more right.
I don't think there will be one though,
and that's fine with me, 100%. I'm just saying, like for something like High Card, that should be a dub, and that would be a dub that I would watch because it's so English-based with the names and the scene, the location. It's in England, like, or what is like UK. So in this instance, I was just saying that because I was like, I want to see this scene in dub because we've already established that Carol's dub is actually pretty fucking legit.
Yeah, it's the same VA.
Yeah.
But we get to all that businesses pick it up, especially because of Carol. We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
And who walks into the door?
Jun-kun!
Jun-kun! Tomo's all flustered, like, what? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
And she asks Tanabe, like, did you know that? Oh, yeah, he comes here once a week.
Yeah.
So all's going on. And then, of course, Misuzu uses this to tease Jun. It's like, so, do you like her in the maid outfit? He's like, it's good, I guess, type of thing.
Yeah.
And tells, and then Tomo's like, wait, and then Tomo's outside, like, what does she mean by that? And then Carol's like, it means it's good. Like, don't look too much into it. Like, it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, Tomo serves her the food. So serves him the food.
Yeah.
While that's going on, Carol has more customers because she's cute in the maid outfit.
Yep.
Going on, and June even talked about how he would come by every day during break as long as she was there.
Yeah.
Instead of just once a week. Shift's over. Everyone gets paid. They got a bonus.
Yep.
Because of all the hard work they've done.
Yep.
And when they get outside, June was outside.
Yep.
And he actually did come every day to basically support Tomo.
Yep.
And then he talked about, for some reason, the food there was better when you were serving me it.
Perfect. Yep.
I was like, oh, it was made with love, basically.
Yep.
So Tomo gets all flustered. And we get to the next day, birthday. He gets a gift.
Nice. It's a watch.
Yep, nice watch. And Tomo's like, oh, yeah, I got the same thing.
We're matching.
And then Tomo's like, what? What do you mean by that? Like, as friends. Like, oh.
And so she points out, she's like, wow, it's been a while since, it's been like homies. Like, it's just been like, oh, like, there's been progression. Like, I thought June was changing, but I guess not. And so then Tomo's like, hey, I brought cake. You want to go inside and have cake with me? And June is like, well, my mom's not around. She won't be around till tonight. So can we have cake at your house? I'm sure your mom is around.
Right.
And then Tomo's like, oh, I guess maybe there has been progression because he sees her as a woman. He doesn't want to be alone with her at the house. He thinks things might happen.
Yeah, doesn't want to get the wrong idea.
Tomo moaning may not be the best thing.
Right.
Okay,
that was the first half, and now we get to the second half. It's basically, of course, cultural festival. They're going to put on a play. We'll get to that in a bit.
Yep.
Misuzu, this is a progression more for her.
Yep.
Basically, Tomo goes back to, hey, how can I get June to see me as a woman? And she says, let him touch your tits.
Yeah.
You got to get physical. That's the only way. And then this is the elaborate plan of basically what's going to happen is you're going to stand down here. I'm going to be up here. I'm going to push June down the stairs. And then he's going to fall on your tits. It's a good plan. Tomo's like, no, you're crazy. He's like, oh, are you weak?
Yep.
And then she's like, let's fucking go. Let's go. She's ready. June comes down. He said, hey, Tomo, why are you down there? Then Misuzu pushes it. It's like, she's really trying to kill me. Tomo's ready to catch him, but no, June's like, no! Spins himself around while in the air, goes past him, and what does he do, Ethan?
She fucking, like you said, he just manages to I don't know how, by the way. He dodges Tomo in midair.
And lands on his feet past her.
And who comes around the corner, Matt?
Carol.
And what does he do, Matt?
He grabs her tit.
Full on tit. Hey, I love Carol's reaction. Ooh, bad June.
Yep. Like she's in a relationship now with her cousin. Hey, watch out now.
Yep.
And then Tomo is like angry. Misuzu shocked. And then he like, let's go. I'll make it up to you. Oh no, you're fine. I know what you could do. Like she taps Tomo's shoulder. And then he's like, go ahead, just beat me up as hard as you can. And he's like, but you didn't do it. Like it wasn't like that wasn't your intention. I know, but do it anyway.
Yep.
And then bam.
Ass whooping. I want to do June's fat cheeks after he got punched.
Yeah, and then this is where Misuzu gets this realization of every time she's involved, they fuck up, Tomo and June.
Yeah.
And now she feels like she's doing it intentionally. She even tells Carol that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so really like I don't want them together. And then Carol's like, that's bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
And now, basically, because of this, Misuzu can't face Tomo. So it got to the point where basically she calls out sick when she's not really sick.
She's sick mentally. Oh, you skipped
Yeah.
the part. You skipped the part, by the way.
What?
When what's it called? Mizuzu is like, oh, you know, like she starts realizing, like, hey.
Oh, right. That's right. She this is where she trips.
The growth. This is where I mentioned of the growth. Like she realizes as she's in class, she's like, you know, I don't want them to get together because I'm gonna lose Tomo, and I don't want to lose Tomo. And so rather than speaking about it with Tomo, she basically retracts within her feelings. She's walking down the stairs as she continues to comprehend this.
Yeah, this is
and
where she falls down.
And who's at the bottom of the stairs to catch her?
Tanabe. Tatsumi, yeah.
Matsumi, yeah. Tanabe makes sense. I always forget Tanabe, so Matsumi I found out makes sense.
Well, Tatsumi Tanabe.
Tatsumi, yeah. So Tatsumi catches her, and for once, Mizuzu's grateful. She's like, you know, thank you for breaking my fall. I appreciate that. What can I do to make up for you? And Tanabe is like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like, you know, she's like, no,
are you sure? So
I'm
your only opportunity.
Especially repentive, basically. And she's like, you can ask for anything. And he's like, can we exchange contact numbers? And she's like, oh, that's all you want? And I love Tatsumi's response. It's just like, oh, I could have asked for more. Fuck.
But no, this is a good step.
It's a good step. But no, like, and the rest of the episode continues to progress in this manner to an extent that basically, as Matt will get into momentarily, when Tomo visits a sick, quote unquote, sick Mizuzu, is the fact that we get character development from Mizuzu. That Mizuzu can't compartmentalize the fact her best friend loves her childhood friend, and even though she feels that she's been doing the right thing for her, in reality, she's been a detriment to them.
Yeah, and I'll get to them when we get there, but basically, Tomo starts feeling upset because she told Carol, just Carol, but not Tomo, that she's sick. And it got like, and then basically it's a couple of days, 3 days, basically.
Yeah.
But while that's going on, the class is saying we're doing a play of Cinderella, and we'll get to that in a bit, like fully. And this is the hilarious part of the bit.
Yeah.
Tomo. She stops by Miss house, like for the window. Like basically, she opens the window curtain. Tomo's right there, just
almost like, fuck that.
Yeah, and now Tomo's getting the wrong ideas. Like, so, like, do you hate me now? Type of thing.
Yeah.
Basically, and then Tomo talks about how she doesn't hate Misuzu no matter what she decides to do. And then Misuzu's like, oh, typical Tomo. Sees the good in people.
Yeah.
That type of shit. So she tries to go to school. She goes to school, and automatically we see her yelling with a necklace, like, why am I Cinderella?
Yeah.
So, and we find out why. And why is it, Ethan?
Because Carol fucking volunteered her.
Yep. It's like, wait, I got ideas. And she was about to rip her face off.
Yep.
And of course, Tomo is the prince because of her tomboyish figure.
Yep.
I thought it'd be June, but you know.
Oh.
But June's the fucking tree. And Carol is the evil stepmother.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck? And then what you call it? They're at the rehearsals. Misuzu has his glare, and June calls her out.
Yeah.
Saying like, hey, what's wrong? It's like, nothing. Like, you're lying. I know what's wrong and what's not. So Misuzu just fucking pushes the tree.
Yeah.
So like, you gotta confront her head on, or otherwise you're just gonna keep repressing basically everything. Like you're not gonna grow as a person.
Yeah. And he gets pushed over for his troubles.
Yep. And he's like, and he can't get up.
He's a turtle. I can't get up. Fuck! And she walks away.
Yeah, and then she has this reflection to herself. I think so they're gonna come down to why it's not working is because she's forcing Tomo to be what she's not. Like girly, feminine.
See, I get that, but without her not doing that, June would have never recognized her as a woman the way she does.
Right, but
helped.
It's helped a little bit, but I feel like that should not be the main thing. Like sees as a woman, but still love her for her.
So let me ask you something, because honestly, like Tomo and Jun are the main characters of this story.
Yeah.
But Mizuzu, in many ways, is truly the main character because she's the leading protagonist that drives their story. Carol has her shining moments, no doubt.
I was saying Mizuzu is kind of the antagonist.
In a way, she is kind of the antagonist. I would 100% agree. Carol, for me, is really close to being supporting character of the year. Depending. There's a lot to be discerned. The supporting female, supporting girl, she's up there.
Absolutely.
But no, let's finish off, man.
But yeah, I think it's gonna come down to I was wrong trying to change the type of thing. I thought it would work.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna make Jun see her more as a woman, but basically he likes for her, and I think that's gonna be the main thing when we get there.
Yep.
And the end of the episode, we get a nice little moment with Tomo and Jun.
Yep.
They're walking home, and Tomo wants help, like more rehearsal.
Yep.
So Jun is Cinderella.
Yep.
Well, Tomo's still playing the prince, and you see Jun sound a little bit more feminine with this. I thought it was funny. It was really funny.
Yeah.
And Tomo was like, I'm really enjoying this. Well, Jun's like, please stop. I was like, no, I want more.
No, let's practice more.
Yeah. And that was where the episode ends. So we'll get that. I can't wait.
Yeah, we get an episode. So in terms of episodes that are concluding the week afterwards, we've got Tomo, Angel,
Ice Guy.
No, Ice Guy is a 12 episode. They're ending.
It ends Tuesday.
Okay. No, yeah, I guess you're right. That makes sense.
Angel is next Saturday.
Yeah, the Saturday after next. No, the Saturday after next.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're concluding WrestleMania Saturday, it seems.
Yeah.
Reincarnation, which you're not watching, ends at that time. And Buddy Daddies includes that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that and Trigon as well, I believe.
Trigon 13?
It's 12.
Yeah, it's on 10. Okay. And Revengers.
No, sorry. It ends next week.
And Revengers. It's 11?
No, episode 11 is tomorrow.
Oh, the week after.
Okay. And 12's next week, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, should we get to our co-main?
Let's get to it, buddy.
Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. We picked up where we left off with the after credit where Hiromu was talking to someone about moving in with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to Saejima about it, but Komori fucking pestered in, overhears it, and she thinks he's talking about Hiromu asking for Yusuke to move in. And she's getting all happy, be like, oh my god, it's so cute, I can't wait, I gotta go talk to her right now. So what's going on for Yusuke? And she's like, what? Like, so what about this? I'm moving. Like, I'm not moving. Like, my apartment's fine with me and Namiru. And then she's getting the wrong idea. Like, did Hiromu ask someone else to move in?
Yeah.
And eventually Hiromu and Saejima talked to her like, no, we're talking about a cat.
Yeah.
Basically, we found a stray cat. Well, he found a stray cat that's like on the way home or to work.
Yeah.
It's been like this for a month where the cat's been shy in front of him, but eventually warmed up. So Hiromu wanted to take it in.
Yeah.
And then eventually for Yusuke, she walked in the conversation. Hiromu asked Yusuke for her help with the cat. Yeah. So they do that, and then fucking Yusuke like, I'm your kitty senpai.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. But yeah, they go around looking for. They went to the parking area at night. The cat's nowhere to be found. Also, we're finding out Hiromu finally is learning to control his ice powers.
Slowly, but yes.
Yeah, slowly. But like it doesn't go like that with cats.
Yeah.
Just not with Yusuke, but to be fair, she's gorgeous. So
she really is. She is 100%. Like in terms of well, it's inconsequential. I was going to mention something, but that's fine. I can mention it later on.
Well, you can bring it up after this.
No, it was just I was going to say about the animation. Like she is like probably the most gorgeously animated like figure.
Yeah. No. This is nicely animated. The show.
This is honestly, and I mentioned this to Starman I mentioned this like a few weeks ago. Like this was an early contender for animation of the season simply because of the eyes. The way they do the eyes is
the color of it, the shading of it,
the color, the shade, and the movement. When they're not looking at, they look to the side, like they're like, and then the movement, like blinking, like it's so like the detail is minute, but it matters. That sticks out.
It's a strong contender for the season for sure.
100%.
Yeah, this, Trigun, and Vinland for me are contenders for animation.
Yeah.
But let's continue on. Again, they look for the cat. No luck so far. They eventually find it.
Yeah.
And of course, Fuyusuki, it just bonds with it right away. It has a trick. It's like, just have your hand out, basically, let it sniff you. Let it get familiar with you.
Yeah.
It's cute. She picks it up, talks to Buchi, the cat.
Yeah.
Basically, he's like, hey, Hiromuku's a good guy. Take care of him, right? You're going to be in a good home.
Yeah.
And then he's like all like flustered about it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, doesn't seem too timid, this cat.
Yeah.
And it's like, you find out
they turn around and there's a fucking missing cat sign right behind them. Of course.
It's like, how do you not notice that a month though?
That must have been fairly new. They're like, maybe it's one of those cats that goes out.
Probably, but or he just didn't go that way. It was just always a straight dot in the park.
Yeah.
But yeah, we find out that the cat ran away after a thunderstorm, and the cat lost his way back. Hiromu was a little disappointed that he didn't get the cat, but also happy that it found its owner.
Yeah.
So Fuyusuki goes, so like if you want, would you like to come over my place to meet Namiru in person?
Yeah.
So that was that nice first half. He's finally getting to go to her house.
Yeah.
So very nice. We get to the next day. Hiromu's getting ready. The sister's like, hey, why are you happy? He's like, I got something going on. And then she finds out she does too. So she leaves. And now Hiromu was like, hey, so he's gonna pick up a cake for the house because roll cake or then he goes to Fuyusuki's house. He sees it for the first time.
Yeah.
Namiru is like slowly getting used to him.
Yeah.
And they're getting stuff ready. And who knocked on the door?
Hiromu's sister.
Yep, she cock-blocked.
Major.
Yep, it's like they're about to have a moment finally, but nope.
Yeah.
And he's like, why are you here? And you find out she sees Yuki. She sees Fuyusuki more than Hiromu on Sundays, like after work. Like, oh yeah, I've been coming here for like a month now. So fuck you. And then basically Hiromu was talking to Yuki. He's like, you need to leave. I'm trying to fucking have some alone time with her. It's like, no, but eventually like, fine. But Fuyusuki's like, oh yeah, this cake's enough for 3 people. We could all share.
Yeah.
So Yuki took it as, I'm gonna cockblock you more. I'm staying. Fuck you. I want cake.
Yeah.
So it's like, you motherfucker. So they all do that. What else happened in this? While they're having the cake? With Namiru?
Namiru went to the box, trying to play with the thing. They had the cake.
The snow happened, I think. And Namiru ran off for a bit.
Yeah.
And then Fuyusuki was talking about, like she likes she also likes the cold too. It just startled her. Like she actually likes it. That's like I like it. Like she was saying something nice about Hiromu and his ice.
Yeah.
But he didn't hear it. But Yuki did. So that was really the gist of the episode.
Yeah.
This was nice.
It was good. And, again, I still feel that he's a little bit obsessive, which is why I don't like Ice Guy compared to Angel. But there's something about their chemistry. Again, they're another one that has so much solid chemistry that's like undeniable. And it shines. And I enjoy that very much about the show.
Agreed. Main event time.
Main event time.
To your eternity.
The season finale. Our first finale of the winter.
Yeah, from fall.
Yep.
Basically we picked up where we left off. Knockers are gone.
Yep.
Renril is slowly being rebuilt.
Yeah.
But not everything's all happy because Macer got called into the palace. And basically he has 10 days to leave.
Yeah.
Basically he was to blame for the princess's death, as they see it. So him, Hyro, and Kai, they're gone. They get kicked out. But Hyro and Kai talk about how they see Macer as basically friends.
Yep.
But again, he lost the trust of royalty. So all that's going on. And then we're going to get to a crucial thing in a bit. But Fushi is making dinner with Gugu like old times. They're all getting together. They're talking about like what everyone wants. Fushi wants to grant their wishes, basically, and talk about basically what they're gonna do with their lives after.
Yep.
And first they ask Bonchan why isn't he reincarnated yet? He said he's gonna wait till everyone's body is back, like Fushi gets everyone back.
Yeah.
But he's still missing a few bodies.
Yep.
So he's still in body. What?
Because Kahaku has those.
Yep. And Kahaku is basically he's a runaway.
Yeah.
So he's talking in Bon's body, and they brought up Eiko died.
How?
I don't know if it was just from the injuries or
she had a broken hand.
I don't know. I don't think they were like
weird.
But yeah, apparently everything was like too much.
Yeah.
And it killed her.
Well, she was also what, 10?
10, 11, 12. But yeah, people have been upset about this. But now Fushi is talking about something that he has to do, basically, because someone said world peace, but that really can't be attained unless the whole world is like he like covers the whole world.
Yeah.
So no knockers can be around. And because of this, he's going to lose conscience.
Yeah.
For basically, he's going to be a vegetable for the whole procedure. He doesn't know how long it's going to take, but basically,
yeah,
it's goodbye in this life.
Yeah.
Because they can still age in all this.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be around for any of it.
That's so interesting that, like, even though they're immortal, I found that very peculiar because it's like, even though like they're immortal, they
can still age and die.
Because Fushi, at the beginning of the season, when everything first started at the very beginning, Fushi had aged 50 years.
Yeah.
Right? But Fushi himself, because he has so many other bodies, you don't think he would have died because he would have just probably transitioned into another character, right?
Like that's the way he's not a physical body. He's just that stone.
Yeah, he's an entity.
Yeah,
he's an embodiment of entity of life.
Yes, they're not. But because of this, half the people are like they understand, but like upset. Yeah. But March does not want that.
Dude, I was shocked when you're gonna get into it.
We'll get to that in a bit, but basically, like, no, I'm your mommy. You can't do this. You can't leave your mommy alone. I like that little callback with the mommy thing. Like, oh.
Yeah, I appreciate also that March, because she's been listening to Fushi and like all the conversations he's had for so long.
Yeah,
is no longer like, even though she's in child form, she has adult ideologies and she speaks more as an adult.
Yeah, like hundreds. He's been with like a couple hundred years at this point.
Yeah. But, so she retained her child mannerisms without actually being a child about the circumstance, for the most part.
Yeah. So, yeah.
By the way, pause. Chris, you've been really quiet. What's up, guy? You've been watching.
Yeah, I think he's getting his cosplay stuff ready because he's coming up for the con. He's cosplaying.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they're leaving in a couple of days, so they gotta get stuff ready.
Is Chris the one that you said is gonna get really shit faced, or no?
What do you mean?
You said there was one guy that gets like really shit faced, and you're gonna.
Oh, and rum and cokes. Yeah, that'll be him.
That'll be Chris's rum and coke guy.
He's a rum and coke guy.
Hey, to you, Chris. My little bit of rum and coke left.
Yep. So and Gugu says he's gonna stay in Renro.
Yeah.
Basically, like guard the body and all that.
Yeah.
Help the people.
Yeah.
So Fushi does get to work.
Yep.
He's hidden in the huts.
Yep.
Like you see roots everywhere. March is like not leaving his side at all.
And we find out why.
With what?
You didn't notice that?
No idea. I forgot what it was like.
So Tonari was like, March isn't leaving. March doesn't want to leave. And so she has a potion in her hand.
Yeah, and Kai's with them.
It was Gugu.
Yeah.
She handed the potion to Gugu. They fed March while she was sleeping. And poison. I
thought it was Kai because Kai says I'll be the bad guy.
Oh yeah. I thought it was Gugu.
Yeah, Gugu was there, but he didn't.
No, it was Kai. Yeah,
they were talking, but Kai's like, I'll do it.
They poisoned March in her sleep, and she passed. They basically killed March.
Give her a mercy kill.
Mercy kill, and while he's unconscious, he feels March's entity, like come into him.
Yep. So that happened.
And
then we're gonna get to
They go over every single person. So
not yet.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to Kahaku.
You're going Kahaku. Oh man, this was fucking stellar.
Yeah. Basically, we're at the Bennett Church.
Yes.
With the father and all this, and Kahaku is there
with the knocker in his fucking eye and face.
Yeah. He's hiding it, but he's like talking about.
No, it's there.
Okay, it's there. He had the hood on first, but he lifts his head up. Yeah. But he's talking about how he wants to join them, type of thing.
Yeah.
And then they talk about Fushi and all this, and Kahaku is like on the ledge, and below is like lava, like molten lava.
Yeah.
So he's basically saying, "Fuck you guys, I love Fushi." He jumps off, and in his pockets, like is like bombs,
giant little explosives.
Yeah, that are gonna fall in the lava with him, and the knocker is like holding on, but Kahaku cuts it, so they both go in the lava together. That knocker's finally dead. So is Kahaku.
It releases all the
soul. Because Kahaku talked about how he wasn't good enough because he was a boy, not a girl.
Yeah, it goes to that.
And this is like how to make up for it.
Yeah,
protecting Fushi by dying and taking the Church of Bennett.
Yeah, the end of the Hayase line dies. Yep. The knocker dies. The leader of the Church of Benedict dies.
The church is like blown up.
Yeah, the church is blown to shit.
Yep, and so
Fushi gets a rush of all his bodies.
Yep, Fushi feels this, and he resurrects Banshin.
Yes.
And now Banshin is like back his original self.
Yeah. In front of his children and his grown son.
Yep, the wife and child. Yep. And now we're gonna get to everyone.
And so
Macer had the worst. Basically, Macer just self-destructed.
He OD'd on alcohol.
Yeah. And that was it for him in that one.
Kai got killed.
Gugu.
So before that, we continue. Because of this, there's anti-Fushi factions.
Yep.
Throughout this period, they kill Kai.
And Gugu died of injuries.
Yes, from fighting them.
Yep, for helping up. He's saying too much injuries. He died because of it.
Yep.
Tonari, she lived a long life.
Died of old age.
And we ended it with Banshin.
Banshin dies of old age.
Yep, he did everything he could.
Yep.
And that was the credits of it.
And keep in mind, Fushi's roots are all over the planet at this stage.
Yeah, because Fushi said he'll meet him again when he's done
doing
his thing. And now we get to thousands of years later.
It's current time. in Japan.
This is the other credit. They're in the modern era.
Yeah.
Fushi is actually like
conscious. And there's still roots. There's still roots.
There's roots everywhere. People are like, it's normal.
It's normal.
Yeah. And Fushi is like looking around. Like, he's amazed by everything.
Yeah.
And he's like talking like it's like a happy ending type of thing. Like, I can't wait to bring you all base. Like,
yeah.
So we got that, and that is how we end season 2.
No, you're forgetting. He is Fushi. He's the original from the very first character. He still has the rope connected to him.
Yep.
He disconnects the rope. Fushi at this stage ceases to exist, and our very original character, the unnamed character, the unnamed boy that was in the Arctic, comes to life in the current modern era.
No, I thought that was just Fushi, but
no, it's the boy. It's the original boy. He got rid of Fushi's entity. I don't know where Fushi is now. We don't know. Gotta imagine it's within his heart, right? You would think, as I'm wearing a shirt. But I thought before I saw the announcement of season 3, this was a fantastic end to this show.
Yeah,
it was poetic. It was conclusive. It was final. You made it. The boy that wanted to see civilization sees civilization.
Yeah.
The end. And now we get a season 3.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? I don't like it.
I feel like it just didn't need it.
It doesn't. And you mentioned at the beginning of this show 3 hours ago that this is where the the manga readers say that the show digresses.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be because it's gonna be more slice of life-ish.
What is there to do? Is Fushi gonna prevent fucking nuclear bombs?
Or is it gonna be more modern knockers?
What is a modern knocker, if such? You don't read the manga, so you don't know.
No.
Are you gonna spoil yourself?
I'll eventually look, but or just read it where it left off. But no, I think this would have been if it was just these 2 seasons, like resurrect everyone and then everyone got their happy ending. Sure.
I can't give it a 5, but this is a strong.
If it did end like that, I probably would have given it a 5.
I think regardless of that ending, I would have given this entire season with that conclusion a 4.5. It's not a 5 for me. I just never got that 5 feel, but it's a solid 4.5. I rated it 4 out of 5 because we don't give halves on my analyst. So it's a 4 out of 5. It's a solid 4.5. This was a very strong ending, excluding the revelation of what will become season 3.
If the first few episodes were stronger, this would have been a 5.
I'd agree.
But I am giving it a 4.5.
The weirdness with introducing Bon at first kind of killed it.
I think it's just more of I didn't care that much about the Church of Bennett except for Bonchan's realization. And Fushi growing with them.
The Church of Bennett worked itself out though, because you needed that type of heel in the story. You needed that antagonist.
Yeah, but I think the first 2-3 episodes were just weird enough for it to
the first
it killed the pacing.
The first 5 episodes were like up and down so much, and then from episode 6 or 7 onwards, it was brilliant. It was a 5.
Yeah, that would have been a 5.
Yeah, from 7 or 8 onwards, it's a 5. The first 5 to 6 episodes is a 3.
But yeah, so with this, it's a 4.5 because
I agree, 4.5.
Okay, if
I haven't ranked the rest of my. Everybody knows my number 1. I'm pretty certain what my number 2 is. You probably know what it is. I don't know what the rest of my lineup looks like.
It's in my top 5. I just don't know where I'm putting it yet.
Oh,
it depends on the other.
If you're drinking, I'm taking straight from the bottle.
Well, this is gonna be my last one. So,
I want to watch New Japan Cup, but I've only slept a combined maybe 4.5 hours today. So. Part of me wants to pass out, but
I think it's gonna be Goto and Sonata in the final. Honest.
I'm sorry, what? You broke
I think it's gonna be Goto and Sonata in the finals.
I haven't seen a single match of the New Japan Cup.
I'm just looking at the brackets.
I know the results. I know nothing about the way that things have played out.
Yeah, I know it's Shota and Finley and Goto and Tonga tomorrow, but I don't see Finley going to the finals. Shota, I don't see him going that far yet because he's still new. I think he'll get booked strong.
Maybe next year.
Next year, definitely. He'll win it next year.
Shota facing Goto?
No, Shota is facing Finley. Goto is facing Tonga.
And that's the semifinals.
That's their quarterfinal. Winner of that is the semifinal. Semifinal, the other side is Sonata and Mark Davis.
Hold on, Thomas facing who?
Goto.
That'll be. I think Goto. Yeah, you're right. I think Goto will beat him. I don't think Goto will win the New Japan Cup, but that'll.
No, he won't. He won't win the cup. I just see him.
That'll set him for a never shot. Come.
Yeah.
Sakura,
as of right now, Sonata's winning the cup. Especially with how everything came out today.
But they're not going to switch the belt on them.
No. It's basically is who's good jobs at Okada at Sakura Genesis.
They literally only switched the belts at Dominion and fucking.
I don't like.
They don't even do it at Dominion most of the time.
I don't like when they win at Dominion because they really don't get defensive because it's G1.
It's G1.
You get one defense and then Wrestle Kingdom you probably drop it.
Yeah,
unless you're Okada.
Yeah, because that's happened to AJ Styles.
It happened to AJ. It happened to Jay.
Yep.
No, hell, AJ lost it before Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, he lost it.
He lost it right after G1.
Yeah. Was that was
Power Struggle.
Power Struggle, yeah.
Yeah, he lost the Power Struggle. Or actually, no, before that, he lost it in September. So wherever those shows
King of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, King of Pro Wrestling. Yeah, he lost it there.
For those who don't know, if you're still listening at this stage, we're talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling and we're talking about the New Japan pay-per-views.
But yeah, I think Sonata wins the cup but loses the belt.
I'm hoping he doesn't because he's 0-3 against Okada. No, 1-2.
He's like 1-5.
He's like because he beat him in G1.
Yeah, that's the only time he beat about Okada being like 5 times.
Yeah.
But unless he actually gonna win, that'd be nice. But no one in the cup right now is gonna beat Okada.
No.
And Finley sure as hell ain't ready for that shit.
What has Okada been doing throughout the cup?
He hasn't been in the last couple of shows.
I'm only gonna watch the New Japan Cup matches, and then I'm gonna watch the.
I'm looking at the results, and he hasn't been in tag matches. Unless they're just waiting until after the cup, or I'm sure he'll be on the final show.
Of course.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be a weird how they book it, or figure out who's actually gonna beat Okada.
You have Finley.
He's not ready.
He's not ready. I agree.
He U.S. champion at max right now for him.
Who even is the U.S. champion? Oh, Omega. It won't be Omega.
No, it won't be him. So he'll probably get the open weights.
It'll be Tama.
Yeah, he'll probably be Tama.
Did you see Ospreay was talking about? They're like, oh, what do you want for Forbidden Kingdom or Forbidden Door? He's like, there's only one guy I want. You know who I want. I want my pride back. He said that. He's like, I want my pride back.
No, I think he'll beat Kenny there.
Everyone was talking about wait until G1.
No.
I want Ospreay. I really want Ospreay to win the G1. I want him to win the belt. I want him to beat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom.
That would be nice. If he's not U.S. champion, I see him winning G1.
I want him to beat Okada, and that's never happened. A Gaijin has never beat a Japanese in the main event of the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom.
Well,
on the January 4th.
Well, unless you count Brock beat Nakamura.
To anime,
but they weren't really. It wasn't really called Wrestle Kingdom then, I believe. So,
Wrestle Kingdom didn't start till 2009, I believe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but he did beat him in Tokyo.
God damn it! Ugh. I just drank this straight from the bottle. This is what 92 proof.
All right, you ready to go?
What are your final thoughts, Matt, on this? How we diverge?
I love Eternity. I'll keep an eye on fucking what happens in season 3. There's no release date for that yet. I'm going to assume next year.
Gotta think.
I wonder if they'll get a new OP this time. At least get the same artist. But
it would be interesting if they kept the OP. Has that ever happened?
Like consistently?
One singular consistent OP.
Log Horizon did it for a bit until their latest season. They did it for like 2 to 3, and the next one.
Log Horizon.
It's an MMO type.
Yeah, it's a game.
Anime,
I didn't know it was anime.
Yeah, they had that. Yeah, they had the same song for a bit.
You know what I would love? My nephew. He plays Genshin Impact a lot. I wouldn't mind seeing a Genshin Impact anime.
We are getting it.
Are we?
Yeah. They got announced like months ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ufotable's anime in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'll be major.
Yeah, there's just no release date for it.
That'll be hella major.
I think we'll get it next year.
Hey, you're wearing my sweatshirt.
Yeah, because it's comfy.
I'm glad I got you a good gift.
Yes,
Sean, if you're listening, I got to actually reply back to the guy and let him know that, yeah, we can do that. I'll do it after the podcast.
Right. Hold on. I'm going to look up the Genshin Impact anime.
I'm so glad I got you a useful gift.
But yeah, it got announced last year, but there's no, as of right now, they're expecting mid 24 to early 25.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
My nephew would be almost 21 by then.
Yeah, so we might not, as a 12 episode. And it's going to be a prequel to the game, from what it looks like.
A prequel?
I guess like lead up to the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got announced September of 22.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so we'll get. But yeah, nice seasons. A few decent penultimates. Can't wait for some of the finales. And we will be back in 2 weeks with our finales. And the week after that, we are going to do our awards.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're going to spring.
Well, we're pretty set on spring. Nothing else has come out in spring, right?
No. The catalog's done. Nothing new last minute's gonna come in.
Yeah.
Unless it's a random Netflix, but that's it.
Yeah. I forgot to mark off that I had watched Angel on my fucking analyst. So I'm all caught up as of right now.
All right. But folks, we talked our cake, ate it too, full of cake.
Beyond.
Follow me at Twitter at DamienPhoenix12. Follow our Keki Twitter at Talk the Kēki. Follow Ethan at Showstopper24. We have a link tree on our Twitter at Talk the Kēki. We are where we listen to your favorite local podcasts. Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, you name it, we're there. We want to thank you, W2M Network and Chairshot Radio, for hosting us on their websites, on their media platforms. So check them out at Chairshot Media, always use your head, and at W2M Network. And we want to thank Sean for being our editor, who basically has been getting out more consistently because of his new schedule. Give him your Instagram so we can go.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at AI_anime24. That's iAnime24. Weekly updates, or daily updates, I should say, on all the anime that Matt and I talk about on a consistent basis. You can follow me on my podcast Instagram at podcast.senpai. Again, as Matt said, all of our socials have link trees. You can follow our personal endeavors. Shout out to my boy Andy with the MMA for Marks podcast. We will be back. Andy's going through a little bit of personal stuff again, as we discussed previously, but we'll be back on to discuss all the latest and greatest in MMA with the MMA for Marks podcast, also available on W2M Network. You took care of my other ones, so.
All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Also, next week we'll have a Keki shot for Ethan and Starman.
I have to coordinate that with Starman, but yes.
And our Mayan and Starman's Lupin one got pushed back to next month.
Okay.
So we'll get to that. I still gotta watch the new movie. I'll watch that over the weekend because I'm off.
Why don't we get Chris on here?
I could get Chris on here. I should. I don't think he has a webcam.
Well, do him the favor. I gave Angel my old mic, my old blue mic. I gave Angel my mic, and he uses it for his.
But you know what? I'll ask him. I'll see what he wants to talk about.
We watch the majority of the weeklies that we watch, right? So.
Oh yeah, a good amount. I figured just as much as us. So yeah, we can get him for an awards if we get. Well, I got a 4-man group.
Oh, that'll be fucking 5 hours.
Exactly. That would just be awards by itself. Like I get
by itself.
Like the day after or something.
But guys, the purpose of what we're saying is if you follow us, if you like give us enough, like, you know, I shouldn't say attention, but if you give us enough to like work with, we'll bring you on the show, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. But guys, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Arigato, nato, faku. Sayonara.
Sayonara, minasan.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to